I know is I just keep on loving, just loving and learning with you. I'll keep on learning and loving, learning and loving, learning and loving with you. I'm learning with you, I'm learning, I'm loving, learning and loving with you.
I'm learning. I'm loving. We're learning and loving. Back at it again. I'm just a little concerned because we just have a slight distraction. Just a slight distraction. That's my book. That's my book. It's mine. It's mine. Pinta. 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 That's mine. All right. Well, you can keep chewing on that. So she already tried to get my headphones already. Hi, Amy. Hi, Kathy. Good afternoon. Oh my God, goodness, guys. I feel so stressed about this schooling. So what is good though is I'm so appreciative of Peter helping, Peter Anderson, Mr. Anderson. Today we actually have Jacob Harkey. He will be jumping in here any minute now. And so we'll be able to go over everything, anything that I might feel not so sure about, or some, things I didn't understand before. And then also, oh my God, you're so cute. So yeah, I don't know. I just feel, I don't know. I'm definitely in my feels about this. So I'm just going to take it step by step with Jacob. And then I'm going to go over the stuff like the zeros during decimals and fractions. Come here, say hi to everybody. This is Pinta. Look at how big she is. She used to be the runt. Look at you now. Look at you now. My baby. Little Pinta. She's like, what's going on here? So you're pushing yourself too fast. Okay, so I think Jacob, I feel like Jacob will be good at that. We'll be able to pick up from where we left off, but also be able to just break things down and take our time on them. And then also by the end of this stream, I'm going to write down exactly what I need to get from the dollar store, and just like flashcards, things like that. I could even make flashcards, which I might do as well. But yeah, so that's that. So yeah, I'm gonna take it. I'm assuming Jacob will have the GED book, and then if not, I can always just pull it up as well. Class is ready. Class is ready. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna, we'll see how it goes. When do you have a test date yet? No, but that stressed me out too, even just thinking about it, because I just go into the things that I know I don't know, so I'm already feeling depleted. I should give myself a date though. Like I don't know, earlier I said 2 months, and I didn't know if that was pushing it too much, and I feel like I would be pushing it too much, especially from the last episode of Learning and Loving that I did. I just kind of froze up when Peter was saying I could use the calculator for the algebra stuff, but I was like realizing my I still don't know the division and fractions and multiplication and all that well enough that I feel like even though calculator is easier and all of that, and certain parts I'll be using a calculator, I feel like I need to know it well before I can just continue everything else. So I'm going to work on that. And then today I will work on it with Mr. Jacob Harkey. And yeah. Hello, Mr. Harkey. I see you in the back, but I do not. Oh, there you are. I see. I shall wait. You tell me when you're ready. Mr. Harkey's got a pink shirt on, or shall I say salmon? Hi, Jacob.
Hello, can you hear me? I think you need to bring.
You're definitely on a delay. It's definitely, or try. Can you hear me or no? Yeah, okay, good. I could hear you, but it was, yeah, it's on a delay again. And you're muted. Do you want to swap them?
Work to focus on just my phone. If you want to be able to hear me there and then also see what we're working on. I don't know if I'm also going to be able to have my face on if there's this much.
Oh, there we go. No, I think it's just a little slow, but I can still hear you. And
How about
also,
now? Is it any better now?
it's a little bit off, but I can still see you. Also, I was going to, let me try, let's see what happens when I try to share the screen of where we last were. Hold on.
Yeah, because actually, I think I'll need you to fill me in on what you've been up to in the last week, because I wish I could have kept up a little bit more, but I've been pretty busy the last week. I haven't been able to keep up with your streams as much.
Yeah, no, that's okay. And it's okay because I have questions, and I wasn't feeling good about the last. I kind of like I gave up on the last one. I just had to end the stream and like go take a break. And that's definitely something I want to say is that I think I need to take breaks. Just so I feel like you'll know. See, we can just do it like this if you want, Jacob. But I also like when you're writing and stuff because that helps me a lot.
So we can go ahead and look at look at what you're sharing so that we can know what problems you want to take a look at. And then I can work on it on my screen right here. And then once it's done and you want to blow it up so that it's a little bit bigger so that people can see it better, then we can switch the view so that we're looking at it that way. I don't know,
Okay,
does that make
perfect.
sense? Does that sound good?
Yeah, and also I can just take a picture of the page, text it myself, and pull it up on the computer, even if it's a newer
perfect.
page or something. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Do you know which page that was in the book that you were just sharing?
Yes. We were on, that was 245.
Okay.
Page
Sounds
245.
good. Oh, yeah, I've got it.
Okay, and then, but before we get into that, if you turn the page before, I had a lot of questions in regard, and Peter had a question too about when the like let's say number 10, when it has a decimal in the divisor.
The numerator, like the top number in a fraction? Yeah.
But yeah, so it has 2.8 and 0.003. I couldn't figure out the zeros and what do we do with the zeros or not or what. And Peter wasn't sure, so we're gonna come to that when you are here.
Okay. No, that sounds good. Is there a specific question that's on, like a specific problem that's on pages 244 or 245 that that didn't make sense?
Yeah, but no, sorry. Let's go back to the page before. This is where it started.
So this is lesson 3, fraction basics. That one?
No, 243.
Oh no,
page 243. The page before.
Got it. Okay,
Question number 10, 11, and 12 all have point zeros and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Wait, was it this one? Was it this one? Oh, wait, no, sorry. 243, page 243, 10, 11, and 12. That's where we can start because.
All right.
And then let me just see if there was some other.
We'll make notes of those.
Yeah, I think that's where it started. Of me not fully understanding things, but other than that, we did do pretty good.
All
I
right.
mean, I don't know
So
what pretty good is. Like, I don't think I'm doing this fast enough.
that's okay. There's no timeline or rush that you need to be in. And now that I'm back, we can maybe work a little more consistently for the coming week before school starts up again for me. Oh, you know what I just got in the mail today? Can I actually go grab it so I can show it on stream really quick?
Yeah,
I
100%.
just
What is it?
got I just got my diploma from Grand Canyon University. Give me a sec. Give me a sec.
In
I'll
the
be right back.
mail? That's so
Yep,
cool.
yep. I'll be right back. Right back.
Okay. Oh, hi, Peter. Oh, my goodness. In your absence, but me for all of Laura bad habits, she told me.
Right.
Aw, Kathy. That's why I was afraid of you pushing yourself too hard and too fast. You need to get back to basic. Whoa!
All
By
okay?
the way, I have kitties all over here, so they're running around having a beautiful time. So I'm just gonna leave them.
Can you still hear me okay? I'm not sure if my AirPods disconnect when I run away from the. You can still hear me?
No, no,
Nice.
yep. I could hear you pee. Just
So I
kidding.
just got this is my diploma from Grand Canyon University. I'm trying to hold it so the SPTV logo isn't interfering. There we go. But yeah, I got my Master of Arts in Curriculum and Instruction conferred as of July 2026. So this was kind of exciting to
Wow.
receive in the mail. Figure maybe I'll take a picture with it a little bit later so that it can look
Well,
a little bit more
why?
official, or like frame it.
What? It's your DGD.
No, no, no. This is my diploma for my master's degree. So I
I
just
was
finished
gonna
my,
say,
yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah.
what the hell? I'm not getting something. I'm like, you definitely could have done your GED 50 times over by now.
I'm sure you are gonna get a certificate once you do complete your GED. Like they'll mail you an official document that officially lays that out. And then if you
Yeah.
need to send that to future employers or universities, if you want to go to university, then there will be an official way for you to do that so that your student record can be up to date with all of your accolades and accomplishments thus far. So one day,
One day.
whatever you
But that's
pursue,
so
you'll get
cool.
there.
So
Oh yeah.
is this specific for uh you said your master's?
Yeah, so it's a Master of Arts in Curriculum and Instruction, which it says
Wow.
right here. So typically, the standard like 4-year college degree that people would talk about when they talk about going to college for 4 years after high school, that would be a bachelor's degree. And depending on what subject it in and what level of intensity the study is and this research is, you can either receive a Bachelor of Arts or a Bachelor of Science. So I was an English major, so I received a BA or a Bachelor of Arts in English with with a Bachelor of Arts with a major in English with a minor in film, television, and digital media. Whereas like my mom, she was a math major, so she received a Bachelor of Science or a BS in mathematics. So what I just received, my undergrad degree was in 2021 from UCLA, a Bachelor of Arts with a major in English with a minor in film, television, and digital media. And then just last month, officially, I received my Master of Arts or MA in Curriculum and Instruction from Grand Canyon University.
That's so cool. Good job. I
Thank
feel
you.
like it's easy for you, is it? Or is it still kind of was it still kind of difficult? Or what did it feel
Um,
hard? Or were you like, oh, I've got this?
I mean, I feel like there were classes in my undergrad, which was working on my bachelor's, that were more challenging. Like, I feel like the work, like, it required effort, but a lot of it was reading scholarly texts about curriculum and instruction and about teaching methods and like methods of instruction and assessment, that type of thing. And I felt pretty comfortable getting everything done that I needed to, but I mean it did take work. I did have to invest some hours into it every week, but I enjoyed it. I felt like a lot of it was very applicable to what I already have to do for my job. And the truth is, it's kind of funny. I feel like a lot of the concepts that we dug into, we still, even with all of the scholarly sources that we had to read as part of the program, there's a lot of concepts that it really just feels like we scratched the surface of. Like I realized after finishing a master's degree, like if I were to ever go for a doctorate degree, which I don't know, we'll see. But if I were to go there, I realize that there's so many ways that I can go so much deeper into areas related to education and related to curriculum and instruction. But It's exciting. It's an exciting milestone, whether I
That's
do
so
or
cool.
don't decide to go further.
That is cool. And also, I'm sure in a year you'll be like, oh, yeah, sure, I'll just do another one. Just another. Just add them to my belt. 13
Could
flowers. Like,
be.
that's all.
Yeah, thank you to
That's all,
everybody in the
Jacob.
chat saying
You're like, I got
congratulations.
a degree over here. I got a master's here. I got an arts over here. You're like, anything else? I'm like, I'm just trying to get this GED to begin. Okay,
Well, when I
so
was
oh, sorry, yeah,
really
go
quick
ahead.
before, and then we can get back on track. But
Drink
when I
my
was,
cranberry juice.
oh, nice. When I was going to more hearings in LA a couple of years ago for the civil lawsuits filed against Scientology, um, I was really interested in going to law school too. Like if I were to go
Mm.
back for more higher education, that's the other area that I still am like interested in. Now, it's expensive, but I feel like now with some experience in the field of education and specifically handling legal documents for my students who have disabilities and have individualized education plans, like I have had to learn a handful about special education law. So, with a decent GPA from UCLA and Grand Canyon University, if I were to just get a slightly better score on the law school admissions test and also be able to talk about the experience that I already have in an application essay, talking about my experience with legal documents and special education, it'd be cool. Maybe one day I'll be
I
able to
would
get a law
definitely,
degree under my belt.
yeah, that would be freaking excellent. I mean, I wouldn't mind having Mr. Harkey as my lawyer. First
Yeah,
the teacher,
I
then a lawyer.
think the
Tiggy,
anti-Scientology
stop that.
movement could
You get the
always
squirt.
could
So funny.
always use more
Yeah.
attorneys that are devoted to the cause.
Yes, exactly. Instead of all of us like pretending that we're all learning to be attorneys, studying to be attorneys.
All right, do we
Um,
want to go ahead and jump on into it?
okay, yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to say, and Peter said thank you, and I say thank you as well. But him and Kathy. I don't know if you saw this one. Hey, Jacob, Kathy and I have been substituting in your absence, but I'm not sure what lambast is. I think he was writing something else. But
Lambast me for all of Laura's bad habits she's learned.
oh,
Like
is
he's taking
lambast a word?
responsibility. Yeah, yeah. Like he's saying,
Okay.
but feel free to take it out on me if I taught anything wrong. Like, yeah, yeah.
That's I
Good.
feel bad because I got all weird on the last stream and then I just ended it and then I felt bad like wait Peter that it wasn't Peter's fault, it's how I was feeling that I was like, oh, I can't keep going if I'm feeling like this, so I just got triggered and I was like, okay, I'll just wait for the next time to do this, and then I find it, yeah, so here we are, we're back.
We're back, and yeah, we can take breaks as needed, but we got this. We'll get through it.
Okay.
Okay, so number 10, do you want to go ahead and start with that one? That's
Yes.
1.25 into 30, or
Yeah.
30 divided by 1.25. I can go ahead
Yeah, and
and
I just have to like refresh my brain a little bit. So
that's cool. All right, so I'm gonna write it out a few ways just so that we can refer to both of them, but 30 divided by 1.25. Oh, is this pen? Ah, need a new one. One moment.
teachers
All
always
right, 30
running out of
divided by 1.25, which can also be expressed as 1.25 into 30. All right, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the way that I typically would do it would solve a problem like this when there is a decimal point in the excuse me, in the dividend. I think I got that wrong earlier, but this is no.
The visor.
Gosh,
No, the
divisor.
numerator.
Yes. Divisor, or this is what I struggled with before and I realized that I messed it up. So I want to really double check it before I say it wrong. Okay, so the divisor, when you are looking at a division problem, whether it's however it's expressed, the number that you say first when saying divided by, it appears will be the dividend, whereas 1.25 in this case will be the divisor. So divisor is appearing first right here. Dividend is total amount you want to split up, and divisor is the number you divide by. So yes, 1.25 being the divisor. If I see a decimal point in the second, excuse me, how do I say this? If I see a decimal point that is 2 places away from the last number appearing, then I'll go ahead and solve the problem, and then move my decimal once I've solved the problem. So kind of ignore the decimal while I'm going through the long division problem, and then apply it at the end. It might make more sense once we actually do it.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So I'm just thinking, because as I'm saying that, I realize I have not, I haven't actually solved a problem that looks like this in a minute. So I kind of want to just scroll back and read through the lesson a little bit before we get to that. Is that
Yeah,
cool if I just refresh my
100%.
own memory a little
Yeah,
bit?
because it'll just picking up mine.
Nice. Okay, so I'm just gonna go to the page before, because they can probably express a similar idea to what I was just saying, except it might be written in terms that'll make a little bit more sense once I read through them. But anyway, multiplication and division. The rules you used to multiply whole numbers can be used to multiply decimals. That's about multiplication, so I'm just going to skim that really quick and then see where we get to a division example. All right, divide 14.4 by 6. Set up the problem. Since the divisor, the number you are dividing by, is a whole number, place the decimal point in the answer directly above the decimal point in the dividend, the number you are dividing. Good. Use the rules you learned for dividing whole numbers. The answer is 2.4. And then we see here, it looks like this is what's going to be applicable to us. If the divisor is a decimal, you must move the decimal points in both the divisor and the dividend before you divide. All right, so number one, set up the problem. There are 2 decimal places in the divisor. Move the decimal point in both the divisor and the dividend 2 places to the right. Note that you need to add a 0 in the dividend in order to move the decimal 2 places. Place the decimal point in the quotient directly above the decimal point in the dividend. The correct answer is 14. Okay, so that's actually not exactly what I just said, but I think now I have a better idea of what I actually need to do. So I'm glad I looked. So if we're doing 1.25 into 30, or 30 divided by 1.25, if we do, and this can also be expressed, 30 divided by 1.25 as 30 over 1.25. And anytime we have a fraction, remember we can do the same thing to the top and the bottom, or multiply the top and the bottom by the same number, and the value doesn't change. So with 1.25 into 30, if I take this decimal point and I move it 2 places over, then I can also take this decimal and move it 2 places over. In other words, 30 divided by 1.25 is the same thing as 3,000 divided by 125. That might have been a lot all at once. Did you follow that? How are you feeling?
Kind of. I kind of get that, but also as somebody who doesn't know this at all, it seems like I'm already getting triggered. It seems like I should like because it says forget about the decimal points right now. When you're doing it, it says don't think about the decimal point. You
Where does
will
it say
wait
that?
until you finish multiplying before you place the
Oh.
decimal point in the answer. Is that only for multiplying?
That's for multiplying specifically, yeah.
Okay, okay. And so, okay, and so then when we're dividing, since the divisor number you're dividing by is a whole number, place the decimal point in the answer directly above the decimal point in the dividend.
So yeah,
Okay,
it
but this
depends
isn't
on.
showing the point in the dividend is it dividend or divisor?
So
Denominator.
divisor would be the same as the denominator, or the number that's being divided by, whereas the dividend is the whole number that's being divided. So in this problem, where it's 3,000 divided by 1.25, or excuse me, 30 divided by 1.25, 30 would be the dividend, and 1.25 is the divisor. So
Oh,
I think that one thing that, just to back up, might help this make a little bit more sense is when it comes to moving the decimal point, like, you know how, you know the trick for multiplying anything by 10? Like, what do you do to multiply something by 10?
10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60.
So if you're multiplying by 10 though, like what's 2 times 10?
2 times 10, 20.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's 2 with a 0 at the end. And what's 5 times 10?
Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
5
so you can
times
add a
10,
0
50.
to multiply by 10. Now, another way to say that that's technically a little bit more accurate is that you move the decimal point one place to the right. So, for example, if we're doing, and this is like kind of a slight tangent to deviate a little bit away from the lesson, but I think it might help a little bit. So we can kind of go in this direction and see, check in and see if it's helping it make sense. But
Okay.
basically, if I have the number 30, let me write a little bit down here. If I have the number 30 and I want to do 30 times 10, well, what I can do then is understand that 30 is the same thing as 30.0. Because you remember, you can always add a decimal point after the number, or excuse me, I said that wrong. You can always add a 0 after the decimal point and the value doesn't change. You remember going over that?
Yeah.
So if we look at 30 as 30.0 and we're doing 30.0 times 10, we can solve that by just moving the decimal point right here. Now, the 30 times 10 equals 300. And it would be the same thing if we were doing 30 times 100. Then we could move it again, another point, 30 times 100 equals, and then we've got 30.00, moving it 2 places. Answer is 3,000. Now, if we were to do division, it would be the same. So if we were to do 30 divided by 100, that would mean that we're moving the decimal point in the other way. So we're moving the decimal point to the left too. So 30 divided by 100 would be 0.3. So far, is this making sense?
Yeah, a little bit more. I'm seeing
Okay.
like the decimal dance around
Mhm.
and I'm kind of remembering how the decimal is the um boss kind of.
Yeah. No, no, no. Yeah,
Like,
for
that's
sure.
the thing saying like if it's less or hundredths or millionths or whatever. So
Hmm.
I know that sounds stupid, but I'm just now like getting that. So I feel good about that where I'm seeing you do it like with tens where you can easily make it zero point 0.3 or 3,000 or 10 or whatever. Oh, hi
Nice.
Swancho baby. I totally thought I didn't realize who Swancho was, and I didn't like look at her freaking thumbnail. And I thought she was just she's so I love her so much. I literally love her so much that I was so sad when I got her message. I was like, no, did she think? Anyways, I thought it was a random troll, and they were like, what color are your chickens? And I was just thinking, oh, of course a troll is gonna come in here. The first question when I'm stressing about school is gonna be like, what color are your chickens? Not thinking who I knew it was. And then I was like, once I found out who it was, I'm like, oh my God, I am so sorry. You can literally troll me anytime you want. And yeah, so
Nice.
I was trying to be strict and stay in school and not get distracted by random trolls or anybody just being a distraction. Some people just come in and be like, save God, whatever. And I'm like, we're not doing that here. We're literally trying to get a GED. Anyway,
Nice.
so I love you so freaking much. I love you so much. There's nothing, Miss Lady. I don't even know if you want me to say who you are, but there's nothing that I would make me not love you. You're so loving. Everything you create is so loving, and you're so thoughtful. And I just love you so much. So I'm sorry for calling you a troll.
Mm.
Okay, so
Um,
love you, honey.
so I think the next thing to connect this to what we were already learning that would also help to just review really quick. Do you remember when we talked about like looking at fractions let's say that we are working with 3/5 or 3/5. If
Right.
we wanted to find an equivalent fraction, like let's say we're working with another fraction uh, where the denominator is 10, and we want to compare that to 3/5, then what we can do is we can multiply the top and the bottom. We can multiply by a fraction where we're multiplying the top number and the bottom number by the same thing. If you multiply a fraction by another fraction where the top and the bottom are the same, in this case, let's say 2/2. If we multiply 3/5 by 2/2, our answer is not going to be a different value than 3/5. It's going to be the same fraction, just expressed a different way. So what's
Right.
3 times
Peter
2?
was Peter was teaching me this, and this stuff I was liking. I was liking this.
Nice.
And then I
So
got upset
what's
when I thought I lost it all. I was like, my head's not collecting the data. Okay, so 3 times 2 is 6. And
Mhm.
then 5 times 2 is 10. So it would be 6
Good.
tenths.
6
And
tenths. So
that's
6
just
tenths and
making
3
it
fifths.
that's making it improper. That's what we would call an improper fraction, or no?
An improper fraction is actually when the number on top, the numerator, is bigger than the number on
Oh, okay.
bottom. So
Okay.
related, but not exactly the same. But do you understand now that if we were to like visually represent 3/5, let's just do really quick. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not perfect, but
Yeah.
you
It
understand that
kind of
this is 3
shows that.
fifths.
Yeah, it shows that, I believe, on the next page. Yeah.
And then if I were to also just
Three
write out really
fifths on
quick.
number problem 1. Actually, I got that really good.
Oh,
That was easy.
nice.
That's the one I got. That was the first. That was the first problem on fractions and basics. Question 1 is write the proper fraction for the shaded portion of each figure, and the figure is what you're doing, 3/5. So I remembered that. I was like, oh yeah, okay. 3 of the 5 slices are taken.
And then here, do you see that it's not a perfect drawing, but I'm trying to write out like what 3/5 look like by breaking this rectangle into 5 pieces and then shading 3 of them. And then same thing right here. I'm dividing this roughly same sized, although it's not perfect, but roughly same size rectangle into
Yeah,
10 equal pieces where each piece is a little bit smaller to show that 6 tenths equals 3/5. So far, does that all that make sense again?
yeah,
Awesome. Okay, so coming back to the problem now, I think that going over that might help make this problem make a little bit more sense. So coming back to number 10, we're solving 30 divided by 1.25. And I'm going to write it out a few different ways.
yeah.
30 divided by 1.25, which can also be written as 30 over 1.25. And that can also be written as 1.25 into 30. So first up, I'm just writing it a few different ways so that we can just remind ourselves of the different ways that we can look at this. But
Yeah.
now that we've talked about looking or changing the way that fractions are expressed, one thing that we need to do for this problem is we need to make it so that the divisor does not have a decimal point in it. And the way that we can do that is by moving the decimal point the same number of places in both numbers. So 1.25, if we move the decimal place twice over to the right, then what number are we left with once there's no decimal?
125.
125, exactly. And then with 30, which again would be the same thing as 30.0000, however many we want to put, if we move that 2 places to the right, then what number do we now have?
3,000.
3,000, exactly. So when we solve, I'm going to rewrite it on a new page. We're now
Hi,
doing
Heather.
we're now
That
doing
was just
3,000 divided by 125, or 125 into 3,000. How are we doing so far?
good.
Nice. All right. So
So when
the-
I can't, if the number is bigger. Oh wait, no, sorry. Yeah, in when I'm doing fractions, If the
Mhm.
number is, I shouldn't say the number, the divisor. What's the one
I
on
don't
the
know which one you're
top?
talking about. The one on the top is the dividend.
The dividend. Okay, so either way, well, I guess I shouldn't just know that. But dividend, basically I'm trying to find out. So anytime the dividend is bigger than the divisor, then that's when I'm going to need to change the decimal point around, or no?
You'll need to do that, or if there is a decimal point that's like in the middle of the divisor. So if you're if there's only a decimal point in the dividend and no decimal point in the divisor, then you actually don't need to move anything. You would just need to, in fact, there's a sample problem that shows that. Like if you were doing 14.4 divided by 6, like it shows on page
Yeah.
242, all you
Hmm.
would need to do is just jump the decimal point up so that it's lined up with the dividend in the quotient or the answer. But
When
if
it
there's
has
a
the
decimal
point, like for example, on number two,
number
for example,
2,
number two, where
well
it's
that's the
dividing,
oh okay. So for number 2,
you see how
are
it's
you talking
point
about example
35,
6?
point on page 242, example 6. Yeah,
Example 6, yeah, yeah. So yeah, for that one,
it
because there
has.
is a decimal point in the divisor for this problem, there you would need to move the decimal point before you start dividing. So the original problem that it shows for example 6 is divide 4.9 by 0.35, which could be written as 0.35 into 4.9. Because 0.35 is a decimal that has two numbers after the decimal point, we would want to rewrite that as 35 into 490 because in both numbers, the decimal point was moved two places over.
And
Does that
we're
make
turning it
sense?
into 35 so that we're able to do the math, right? Like we're turning it
Correct.
into 35 into 490 just to be able to do the math.
Correct. Uh-huh. Because the answer to 35 divided, or excuse me, the answer to 490 divided by 35 is going to yield the same answer as 4.9 divided by 0.35. That makes
Okay.
sense?
It kind of does, but again, like my brain has to do it 1,000 times and then I'll get it. But I still have not done it. I still need to do it 999 more times.
Gotcha. All right. So
Probably not that much.
now
I'm
that
just saying I feel like once I'm doing it, I think I just need to see you do it and I do it at the same time and forget and mess up and then keep going and then finally get it right where I'm gonna actually get it.
okay, I get you. So looking at how I got here, now we changed the problem from 30 divided by 1.25 to 125, or excuse me, to 3,000 divided by 125.
Yeah.
So are you caught up to here?
Yeah, yeah. Am I caught up? Yeah.
Nice.
Yep,
Yeah.
yeah. You
Also,
mean
my
mentally?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
really just
Okay,
writing
yes.
it down. Yeah.
This is where I feel okay about. This is where I do understand.
Nice. And then also I did get booted from the meeting for a sec when my computer was having an issue, so I don't know if you wanted to bring me. There we go. There we go.
Oh, I
Nice.
was just looking at you from the back. I'm like, oh yeah, hi Jacob, you're still there.
Nice, nice. All right. So 125 into 3. How many times does 125 go into 3?
Okay, and right now when you're asking me this, you're just
Mhm.
making it easier for me, right?
Well, this is the first step of the division problem. Um
Because so you wouldn't do how much does one go into three?
125 go into 3. The answer is 0. The no,
No, I know
125
the
doesn't go.
answer. I'm not understanding why we wouldn't do 125 or one into three and like that.
When you're working with long division, you don't just look at one number from the divisor, you got to look at the whole one. So if 125, it lets us know where we need to start long division problem. So if I just talk through it really quick, like 125 does not go into 3, it goes in 0 times.
Correct.
125 goes into 30 0 times, but 125 goes into 300.
Wait,
There's going to be an answer.
so that's what you're doing right now is just putting zeros until I'm able to do it.
Until it
And-
goes in as a whole number.
And so I'm writing the 0 above the 3, then I'm writing the next 0 above the next 0.
Yeah. Because 125 doesn't go into 3, and it doesn't go into 30. Because it does go into 300, that's the first place that we'll write a whole number right here.
Okay. Okay, so 1, 2, and then this one, 125. So then I do 125 goes into
300.
300. 1, 2 times. No, 3 times. Yeah, 3 times. Oh no, sorry. That's 375. See, I'm literally making fun of myself right
It's coming.
now. 250. Okay.
250. So yeah, 2 times 125 equals
Yeah,
250.
2 up there. Yep. Then I subtract.
That's right.
Then 0. Then 10. Then 2. That's 5. Then 2. 1. Okay. Then 250. Oh, sorry. 50.
That's right.
Sorry. Yeah. 50. So then I do 125 goes into 50. Oh no.
We got to bring down this 0 first.
Okay, so 50. Then I bring down that 0. So that makes it 500.
Yep.
So then 125 goes into 500 3 times.
A little higher.
Oh, what's 4 times? And oh yeah, 125 times 4 is 500.
And 500 minus 500 is 0. So there's no remainder, and we have a clean answer. What's our answer?
What it would be?
Let's see.
Excuse me. Sorry. Thank you. 24.
24 is correct.
So, but now where would you put that point?
So since we already moved them in both the divisor and the dividend, the answer is 24. We don't need to move the decimal place now. I misspoke a little bit when I first brought it up, because the way that I originally said it, I was talking about not moving the decimal until the end of the problem, which is what we would do in multiplication. But in division, once we've already moved that decimal in both the divisor and dividend before we start the problem, now 24 is our final answer.
Okay.
And so if this helps again, to just remind, 3,000 divided by 125 equals 24. And also 30 divided by 1.25, which is the original way that we saw the problem, that equals 24. And if you think about it, 24, because if you look at a division problem as a multiplication problem backwards, this also means that 24 times 1.25 equals
Yeah,
30.
That's
And if
what
we
I was
think
just
about it,
doing.
that sounds about logical, because yeah, 24 times 1 would be 24. So 24 times a little bit more than 1 is going to be a little bit more than 24. So that's our final answer, is going to be 24. How'd that feel?
Good. I'm being a weirdo and multiplying 24 times So when I'm doing 24 times 125,
Mhm.
I would do it all and then put the decimal in after.
If you were doing 24 times 1.25, yes, you would multiply it out, and
And
then at
when
the
I
end,
and I'm putting the 24, I'm putting the 125 under the 24. Like the 25 would be under the 24 when I'm multiplying. Or no.
well, when you're multiplying, you can go in either order. For division, you can't, like, the problem will change if you change the order, but for
But I mean,
multiplication,
like if
the order
I'm
doesn't
writing it,
change.
if I'm writing it down, the 24
Mhm.
would go under, right? Am I writing in the right area? Right here.
Yeah,
Like, would I do it like that?
that works, but what I'm saying is with multiplication, you could also do it the other way around. So you could do 1.25 times 24, and you could also do 24 times 1.25, and you'll
But
get the
I'm just
same
saying
answer.
that I guess my question is where I'm placing the numbers is the right way from the right over to the left.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Um, I like to keep things lined up on the right. But part of the thing is in multiplication, you don't need to worry about that the same way you do in addition and subtraction. So like for addition and subtraction, you need to have the decimals lined up. Like if you're doing 5.1 plus 6.03, then if you're going to write that out vertically, in order for it to be accurate, you need to have the decimals lined up. So 5.1 plus 6.03. And then I'd put a zero here just as a placeholder to help us keep our answers lined up. That's specifically for addition and subtraction. For multiplication, that's less important. For multiplication, like I said, I like to keep things lined up on the right. So I would write out like 24 times 1.25. One sec.
Wait, I can't see how
I,
you're writing it. Oh,
oh,
you're
I'm
just
sorry.
writing it out. You're just writing it out.
Yeah, so 24 times 1.25. You could write that either as 24 times 1.25. And here, the decimals are not lined up. I could also write 1.25 times 24. And same thing here, the decimals are not lined up because the decimal in 24 is going to be right there. So that wouldn't work in addition or subtraction. In addition or subtraction, when you're writing the problem vertically, the decimals need to be lined up. But in multiplication, they don't need to. You can just look at it, solve the problem using the numbers, the individual digits themselves. And then at the end of the problem, because this decimal has moved 2 places from the right, we would move our answer 2 places from the right. So in fact, if I were to just solve this really quick, 4 times 5 is 20,
20.
4
4
times
times
2
2 is 8, plus 2 is 9, 10.
is 10, yeah.
Are
And
you
then 4
left-handed?
times
No, you're
1,
right-handed. Okay.
no, I'm right-handed.
4. 4 plus 1 is 5.
Good. And then because we're now multiplying not 2, but 20, now that we're in the tens place here,
Put a
I'd put a
0.
0 placeholder right here. I'd cross out these numbers so I don't confuse myself. What's 2 times 5?
10.
10. Put the 1. 2 times 2,
4.
4 plus 1,
5.
5. And 2 times 1,
1. 2.
2. Good. And now add all this up. 0 plus 0 is 0. 0
2,
plus
5.
0 is 0. 5 plus 5.
Oh, sorry, 10.
Yeah.
And
And 1
3.
plus 2,
Yeah.
3. And now, because this decimal is 2 places from the far right number that we were working with up here, that means that we're now going to move our decimal here 2 places to the left, which gives us
3,000. 30.
30. Uh-huh. Did that, how do you feel? Did that make it more confusing, or do you
If
feel like that helped it make sense?
No, it did. It helped. I'm just thinking when I think 1.25, I just think like money instead of 125. I
Mm.
just think like $1.25 times 24.
And that can help. I mean, you
But
can
I
think
don't
of
know.
it that way. I mean, 0.25, like 25 cents is a quarter of a dollar. Like that's where a quarter comes from. Like it's a fourth of a dollar. It's $0.25. Like if it helps you to think of
I think it
money
does a
when you
little
think of
bit like
decimals, it can.
yeah, a little bit, because then yeah, I
And I
just
mean,
think
yeah, the truth is these numbers could even fit into a problem that involves money. Like if a question is something like a cookie shop sells cookies for $1.25. Laura buys 24 cookies. How much money does Laura spend? We do 1.25 times 24 equals 30. The answer would be $30.
right.
So
Okay.
it does work. If it helps you to think of money when you think of decimals, like that's definitely valid.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So
He.
does number 10 feel a little bit better?
Yes. So I'm
All right,
gonna
you want to
mark
go ahead
it
and
3,000.
uh oh yeah, I see. You the answer is 24 though. You
Yeah.
got that? Nice,
I
nice,
did
nice.
put 24 before, but I wasn't sure. So it would. So is that where we got confused? Is that, or me? Is that when you do it like that with the, well, what about an uneven number? Okay, let's
Oh, like
do
where it's
like number 11.
okay. Yes. So number
That seems a
11,
little harder. Even
sure.
though I did do these with Peter, I learned some stuff on it. I just, something wasn't sticking. Something wasn't
That's
clicking and
cool.
sticking.
So number 11, this is 39.76.
See, Faded Joe says the same. I really like thinking of it as money or any real world situation. Exactly. Especially when I'm trying to learn it so that my brain can hold it. Okay, here we go. So I'm doing this with you. So it can be written out like that.
One.
2.8
We
into,
do we have a decimal in both our dividend and our divisor here. Now, the
mhm.
one that we want to get rid of the decimal in is the divisor. So, how many places from the far right is this decimal in the divisor? Like, how many places would the decimal have to move in order to get rid of it?
Sorry. What are you asking me?
So we want to get rid of the decimal in 2.8. So I would look at the far right number, like how many numbers are after the decimal, and that'll tell us how many spaces the decimal needs to move to get rid of it, which is how many spaces, or how many numbers are after the decimal.
One.
One. So that means we just need to move this one place, and we also need to move this decimal one place. So now we have 28 in our divisor. And then if we move 39, if we move the decimal one to the right in 39.76, then what number does that become? Where's the decimal going to be now?
397.6.
Exactly. So now we've changed the problem so that the decimal appears, or excuse me, we've changed the problem so that we moved the decimal the same number of places in both the divisor and the dividend. Now we can start the problem because there's no longer a decimal in the divisor. Now the thing that we will want to do is for the quotient, because we are still working with a decimal in our dividend, we can still start the problem, but we got to put that decimal
Up on the
right
top.
above. So, yep.
Okay.
So
Okay.
now, does 28 go into 3?
No.
No. Does 28 go into 39?
Yes.
Yes. How many times?
So when you said no, you put a zero. Okay, good. Zero.
Yeah.
Um, oh, because the other two numbers below would just be zeros. Is that why?
Yeah. So, I mean, you could now multiply out 0 times 28 is 0, and then 3 minus 0, and then bring down the 9, like 3, and then bring down the 9. But you'd end up we're still going 28 into 39 with
Yeah.
extra work that you don't really need.
Okay, so 28 goes in. So I put the one above the nine, right?
Yes, that's right. 28 goes into 39 one time.
And then 28 times one is 28. Then I go like that. And do I bring, so right here, I subtract and then bring down the 7?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So what's
So
39 minus 28?
1, 2, 21. 28. Oh wow. 11.
Yeah, 11. Good.
Okay, so then and then I bring down the 6. Oh, sorry, the
Not the
7.
6. Yeah,
The
there
7.
you go.
The 7.
Hmm.
And then 28 goes into 117. 10, 5 times since.
I
Oh, no, it doesn't.
think, yeah, I think it's gonna be a little lower.
4 times 28. 8 times is 32. 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, 4 times, and that's 112.
And what's
28
next?
times 4 is 112. Then I subtract. That's 7 minus 2 is 5. Then I bring down 6.
Right. Hmm.
28 goes into 56 2 times.
Uh-huh. And
2 times 2 is 4. 5. 56. Sorry, I was doing C. That's why I need to do flashcards. 28 goes into 56 2 times, which makes it 56.
56 minus 56 is 0, which means
Is
we have no remainder.
zippity zilch.
So what is our final answer?
The final answer is 14.2.
Correct. Very good.
Is that really correct? I'm
Yeah.
like not sure.
I mean, we can look in the answer key if we want to make sure. I feel pretty confident
No,
about
I
it. But
feel
if we
good
want to go
about it, but
60,
I'm like, I'm not, it just feels weird hearing you say, yes, it's correct. I'm like, I don't even believe myself.
why don't I double check just to make sure? All right. So this is practice 2.2.
Uh-huh.
Practice 2.2. Where's that? That is. All right. We just did number 11, right?
Yeah.
Yep. 14.2 is the correct answer.
And so I would put 14.2. And would I put the 0 in front of the 1, or I don't need to do that? I'm just putting
You don't need to.
14.2 because the decimal is
You,
showing where it is,
yeah. Any
showing
number
that
that's.
it's 14 holes.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. You
Is
don't
that
need
right?
to write the 0. It's not
It's
wrong.
correct. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Peter would say this all the
Mhm.
time, and it would make me happy. Correct. He was
Nice.
like, correct. If I didn't get that C coming in, I was like, oh God, I already failed it. He's like, correct. I was like, okay, move on. Correct.
Um, but no,
Okay.
yeah, it's just like I think we were talking about this at one point, but like 3 could
Oh,
also be written as 03 or 003, and all of these are the
or
same value.
3.0.
Or 3.0. That's right.
Correct.
All those are the
So
same
zeros
value.
are just used to help do the math problem. They're not
Mhm.
like they're there to make you help you get the right answer, but that's what it's for. It's just adding 100 or adding a 1 or adding tens or adding 1,000 based on the
Yeah,
decimal point.
yeah, they can help us. They can help us to keep track of the number that we're working with, even if it's in a place value where it doesn't have any actual value. So like obviously it does matter more like if we're looking at 305, then that 0 is obviously important. It's not like we can just take that and get rid of it and then 35, because 35, just 35, that would obviously be a whole new number. But well, I think you know that. I think you understand. I think you get it the way that
Yeah.
we can use zeros in multiplication and division here. Okay, so did number 11 feel a little bit easier than number 10 now that we had already gone through this kind of problem once, would you say?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Okay. Okay,
Okay,
nice.
so now let's do this weird trippity one where you just were explaining zeros. 0003. Hold on, let me get a clean
Yeah, so
paper for
this
this one.
one,
All right.
47.4 divided by 0.003, which they write as 0.003 into 47.4.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
Right. Are you writing that down? You wanna or are you
Yeah,
ready to jump into it?
yeah, I have it down.
Okay, nice. So first thing we want to do here is get rid of the divisor, or excuse me, get rid of the decimal in the divisor.
Yeah.
So
Hold
in
on, I'm
order to
gonna
do
write
that,
this divisor. The divisor is 0.003.
mhm,
And the dividend is 47.4.
mhm.
Okay.
All right. So in order to know how much we have to move the decimal in order to get rid of it in our divisor, we want to look at how many numbers appear after the decimal point. So in 0.003, how many numbers appear after the decimal point?
3.
3. So that means we're going to move the decimal 1, 2, 3 times.
Okay. And then this would
So,
become 474.
so we're going to move the decimal 3 places here as well. So 1, 2, 3. And
Oh, see, this is where I did not learn.
so like we did in the last problem where we had to move the decimal the same number of places in each in the divisor and the dividend, we're doing the same thing here. We're just moving it more because of where the decimal was in the divisor. It was a weird number, like 0.003. That's really
Yeah.
small. That's 3 whole numbers after the decimal. So now we're doing the same thing here. Because remember, 47.4 is the same thing as 47.400. So, like you were saying, the zeros just kind of help us to express the number. So, if we're moving the decimal 3 places, basically this is our new number with the decimal point right there. So what
Right.
number is this?
Um, would be 47,400.
Exactly. That's right. So I'm gonna rewrite it really quick just so that it's a little bit cleaner because
Yeah, I'm
sometimes
gonna
with all
rewrite
these
it.
values drawn here, it's a little bit tough.
Yeah.
Um,
So now we're doing 0003.
and you don't even need to write out all the zeros. We're just doing 3. It's 47,400 divided by 3.
But wouldn't I do that so I can remember at the end where to put the decimal?
No,
Oh,
you don't need to for this one. For
okay.
this one,
Okay.
mhm. So let me know once you're here, and then we can jump on into it.
Yeah, I'm here. 3 goes into 4, 47,400.
Mhm.
See, I'm going into money. I think about money, the dollar. Okay, so I do 3 into 4. I can just start like
Mhm.
that.
Yep.
Okay, 3 goes into 4 one time. 1 times 3 is 3. Minus 1 is 4. I mean, sorry, is 1.
Yeah, yeah, good.
Then I bring down the 7.
Good.
3 goes into 17. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. 5 times. And then 3 times 5 is 15. Then I
Mhm.
subtract 15 from 17, which is 2. Then I bring down the 4.
Good.
3 goes into 24, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. 8 times. 3 times 8 is 24.
Mhm.
Then that's 0, 0. Then I bring down the 0. So now what do I do? I just 3 goes
Well, how many?
into 0,
Yeah, how many times does 3 go into 0?
0.
0. Yeah, the rest of this problem is going to be a lot of zeros. A 0 times 3 is 0. 0 minus 0 is 0. Bring down one more 0. I'm actually running out of room on my paper.
It's okay, I have
Um,
it. So 0, 0,
3
3
goes into
goes into
0.
0, 0 times. 3 times
Mhm.
0 is 0. So that would be the final answer, or I bring down another 0.
Uh it might be hard to follow on mine because I literally did run out of room right here. But the final answer, once we've dealt with that last zero,
Yeah.
we don't have a remainder. The remainder is zero, so we don't need to keep going. So
Okay.
what is this final answer that we've got up here?
158.
That would be true if our decimal was right here, but these zeros are in the tens and hundreds place. So what's this 5-digit number?
15,800.
There you
So
go.
this would be 1
15,800.
million. I mean, sorry. This would be or 158,000. I mean, 158. How could you say
It
this
would be,
number without, you just say 15,800?
that is this number, yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
That is,
it's also 158 times 100 because, well,
but it wouldn't
that
be
might make it more.
15.
Sorry, what's the question?
So how do I know where to put the decimal in this? How do I know to do 15? Because the decimal, see this, how did you
So
know
the
where to put?
sorry. Let me think. So looking back here, once we have the decimal moved in the divisor, we moved it over 3 places, which made 0.003 into 3. Whereas over here, we moved it 3 places, and that made 47,400 into, excuse me, that made 47.4 into 47,400. So the decimal, I didn't actually write it, which might have it might have helped if I did. The decimal appears after the ones place. So the answer in the quotient now, it would also be up here. So that's how far we need to go in order to get our answer to the nearest ones place. If we still had a remainder that wasn't zero, then we could keep going to get a more precise answer, but we didn't need to do that because we already had no remainder once we worked with the ones place right here. So 15,800 is the answer. With the long division problems, as long as we've moved the decimal out of the divisor, then it's just going to jump up from wherever the decimal is in the dividend. So if it's at the end of the number and there's nothing after that, then the decimal will just jump straight up after the end of the dividend right here.
Of where I put it before I started, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before I started the
Mm-hmm.
problem. That's
Yeah.
okay. So I just have to
Mm-hmm.
remember that. And then I would know, then I would just put that decimal up on the top where the answer is.
That's right.
Okay. So yeah, then it would be 15. Wait, is that right? Where was it when we first started? 47.
So when we first started, it was 47.4 divided by 0.003. And that makes sense because 0.003 is a really, really, really small number.
Small,
So that would have
yeah.
to be multiplied by a really, really big number to equal 47.4.
Right. So
And if we
3
look
of
at,
those is so 3 of 15,800 is 1/3 of 47,400.
and that's about right because like 15,000 would give us times 3 would give us 45,000. So we can kind of estimate it in our head there that a little bit higher than 15,000 or a couple hundred higher than 50,000. Excuse me, 15,000. I mix up 15 and 50 sometimes when I'm speaking, but that would give us about 47,400. And if we want to just double check it really quick, I've still got that page folded. So this was number 12, and the answer in 2.2 to number 12 is, where's 2.2? Here it is. Or did I lose it? One sec. Apologies. Give me a sec. Yes, 15,800 is correct. All right, I looked at a different lesson at first. I was like, wait, that's a different number. Oh, that's not 2.2. But we got it. All right, my thoughts might have been just all over the place a moment ago there. How are you feeling?
It's fine. I thought you put the decimal point at the end of the 158. The 15000. 15. 15800. I thought you put it at the end. Did you put it at the end?
Because they're because our answer is a whole number, but I just put it there so that when you were asking at the end, like, how do you know where to put the decimal point? I'm saying, well, I actually didn't write it originally because it was a whole number, but anytime you have a whole number, you can assume like there's an implied decimal point there that you just don't need to write, the same way that there's implied zeros after the decimal point that don't need to be written. So 15,800 can be written with or without the decimal point. Whereas if we didn't have a whole number and we were working with like 15,800.25, then the decimal point is important because we actually have value after the decimal point. If you don't have value after the decimal point because it's a whole number, then you don't need to write it. I just added it in after the fact because I thought it might help make it a little bit more sense, like what
Yeah.
number we were working with.
Okay. Okay. Well, let me put it in.
So is this the last lesson that you worked on?
One of them.
How?
Uh-oh, it cut out a little bit, your audio.
One sec.
But when you
How's
go
it now?
away, yeah, when you
Oh.
go too far, it cuts out. But
I see. I want to say, yeah, we were working on what's it called? The practice questions that were on like pages 234 through 237.
what
I
is
worked
Kathy
on
saying? When she says, yeah, but we know you can assume those things. Laura does not know you can assume those things.
implied decimal point that comes at the end of a whole number. Like when I wrote it out, that was one thing that I probably could have done a better job of making it. One sec. I probably could have done a better job of making it make more sense if I had clarified where the decimal was in 47,400 before we started. I just didn't put a decimal point at first, so it just looked like this: 47,400 divided by 3, and there's a comma right there because you can put a comma after every 3 places from the far right of the whole number. But I didn't put a decimal in there originally, and I added it after the fact, so I think that made it a little bit tricky because I didn't clarify where the decimal was before we started the problem.
Okay. Well, I feel like we just have to keep doing problems, and I think sometimes if I over talk about something, it can also get me messed up because then I think about it too
Yeah,
hard.
no, I get that. And I was even saying something similar at one point when we were talking on the beginning of one of the last streams before I went to camp, where I was saying sometimes I think that just because we're live, I have a tendency to go into like, oh, I'm in streamer mode. Like I need to keep the show entertaining. I don't want any dead air. Like there has to be talking all the time. I don't want us to just be sitting here quietly. So sometimes I'll just talk, 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 talk. And that might not always be the best thing for learning. Like sometimes it might
Well,
help to just
sometimes it does
sit with
because
things.
sometimes you're just like sharing a way to understand the problem in different ways. So later, if I watch this video, I can hear all of those ways and I'll know, oh, so in the end, this is what I'm trying to get. But as long as I know that my brain doesn't trick me and is like, oh, but why can't you go this way? Why can't you go this way? Like I have to know that I can do it all these ways, but there's a method of getting the correct answer. So I just have to like really learn. Yeah, I'm learning all this. I'm doing it. I'm just not 5 years old or 8 years old doing it.
Yeah. I was just curious how you felt like going through or if you went through the rest of the practice problems that were like at the end of lesson or excuse me, chapter 1. Do you remember how we were going through like all the lessons from chapter 1, and then before chapter 2 started there was this number sense and problem solving practice questions on pages 234 and 235, or actually
Yeah.
yeah, 234. So I only worked, it looks like, through page 1 with you. So I worked on numbers 1 through 8 with you. Did you do the rest of that, the rest of the
Yeah. So I
practice problems
did.
there?
Yeah, I did all that with Kathy and Peter. So I'm
Nice.
actually on page. after that, I'm back on page, what we were just doing, about the decimals on page 243. So I did all
Okay,
that.
nice.
Yeah,
Awesome.
and then
So
we
I was
did,
just curious how did the practice problems feel for you? Like chapter one practice problems.
um, that's chapter 1 is, oh, over
That's
here.
the page 234 through 237.
I mean, these were pretty easy. Not easy, but like I could do it.
And that is where question number 23 was wrong. Uh-oh.
Wait,
Which
hold on. It got
one?
cut out. It got cut out. What did you say?
I just saw the message that Peter put in the chat. He said that is where question 23 was wrong. So I went, uh-oh. What does that mean? I'm not
It,
sure if he means 23. Do you know which one he's talking about? I'm a little bit behind on your recent streams, but do you think he's talking about 23 on page 243?
he is talking about,
Which would be 0.68
yes,
plus
we were,
12.3 plus 4.9. Okay. You wanna
oh, on here,
or excuse
on,
me.
I was on number, on here it says, maybe I didn't fill out number 19. We probably did number 19 and then I got carried away.
Working on first.
Well, then I gave up.
Gotcha. So but
That's
you're
the
on
truth.
page 240. You're on page
245.
243 now?
Uh,
245. Okay.
yeah, that's where we left off, where I was getting a little weird because I felt like he wanted me to just use a calculator, but I still don't feel good about just the basics. And so I was just saying I need to keep even using without the calculator just so I can remember, or just that I get better as I'm doing it. 23 days say to count the number of bags and omits the large bulk bag. Oh,
Mm.
23 on page what? Hold on. Let me
Oh,
find
I see. I see it. It's from the
ribbon
it's
cost
from
45.
page 236. Page 236. I see.
Oh,
I see the it's part of the it's part of the unit 1 practice questions. I'm not sure if you want to take a look at that one really quick or if you got
yeah.
to the point where you felt like that was you want to take a look at
No,
it.
I want to,
Okay, so
yeah.
it's okay, so number 23 says, one sec. A bulk bag of nuts contains 144 ounces of nuts. If the nuts are packed in smaller 8-ounce bags, how many bags will there be? Oh, okay. So this will just be, you want to tell me what operation we'll use, if it's multiplication or division
A
or addition and
bag of bulk
subtraction?
nuts contains 144 ounces of nuts. If nuts are packaged in smaller 8-ounce bags, how many bags will there be? 144 divided by 8.
Exactly. So if I were to write that out now, 144 divided by 8. 8 into 144. 8 goes into 14 0 times. How many times does 8? Excuse me. 8 goes into 1 0 times. 8 goes into 14. How many times?
Once.
14 minus 8 is 6. Bring down the 4, so 6 becomes 64. And how many times does 8 go into 64?
8.
8. 8 times 8 is 64. 64 minus 64 is 0, which means there's no remainder. And 18 bags is the answer, which means the answer should be C. Let me double check the answer key to make sure of that. Number 23 in we've got the right answer there now. Do you remember if you had a wait, what? The correct answer is 144 divided by 8 equals 18 small bags. Oh, plus 1 large bulk bag equals 19. I see what he's saying. Oh.
I don't get it. Wait, I don't get it. Can you draw it out? If the
um
nuts are packaged in smaller 8-ounce bags, a bulk bag of nuts contains 144 ounces of nuts. If nuts are packaged in smaller 8-ounce bags, how many bags will there be?
Yeah. So if the big bulk bag contains, or to even draw out 144, but just a ton, or 144. I'll just, sometimes I'm not the best at doing a drawing to make it make sense, but 140 ounces is what we see overall. All
Mhm,
this whole bag has 144 ounces. We
mhm.
want a bunch of small bags that carry 8 ounces each. So we're taking this out and we're dividing all the 144 ounces here into smaller bags that are 8 ounces each. We want to know how many smaller bags of 8 ounces each do we need to get to fit all of the nuts. So 144 divided by 8, which is what we did, gives us
Yeah,
18.
yeah.
Now the
Because he's
reason that
still
Peter is saying
counting the
that's
big
wrong,
bag.
he's still counting the big bag because it doesn't actually say in the question, it doesn't technically say how many smaller bags will there be.
Are there?
It
It
just
just
says how
says
many
bags.
bags will there be.
Right.
So that's why he says that 18 plus the one large bulk bag equals 19 bags total. I see what he's
So
saying now. It's
If Kaplan is here, you guys need to fix your book and be clear about your question because Mr. Peter Anderson has technically the correct answer.
you want to know something kind of funny that I'm just now thinking about?
Yeah. The best answer is C. Correct. Right?
The best answer is C,
The
exactly.
best
Um,
answer is C.
so Peter Anderson shares your last name, and he's been subbing for me while I've been gone, and now he's helping us along in the chat here. So I showed you my diploma earlier. Can you read my middle name there?
Jacob Anderson Harkey.
That's right.
Nuh-uh.
So
Did you tell me that?
I did a couple of years ago. It's been a couple of years. It was my grandmother's maiden name. Before my mom's mom got married, her last name was Anderson. So that's the middle name that I've got. But it just
Wow.
made me laugh that Laura Anderson, Peter Anderson, and Jacob Anderson Harkey are all here working on
The
GED study
Andersons.
guide.
Yes. The Andersons are holding it together for the Anderson.
And Cassia says, "Dang, the Andersons are taking over the world."
The Anderson family. See,
Da-da-da-da.
this is really family supporting family,
That's right.
family teaching family. Okay,
Nice.
cool. Okay, so that makes sense now. I know Peter was kind of joking, but yes, technically 19 would be the true answer if we're talking also about the big bag that it's coming out of. But C, 18 is the best answer.
Okay, so do you want to look back at, did you say it was 243 or 245 that you left off on?
Yes, my
Oh, Kathy
golden.
Shuggins. She says, "Hey, well, what am I, chopped liver?" No, obviously you can be a good teacher, a good substitute teacher, even if your name isn't Anderson. We're just laughing about how many Andersons we do have here.
Kathy Shuggins Anderson. You can be an Anderson if you want. Trust me. Comes with a lot.
Gosh, that
Comes with a
reminds
lot
me.
of energy. Oh,
That
I
reminds me
love
of a
you
group chat
guys,
I was in one
Kathy,
time.
and you guys are so sweet. Thank you for being here, supporting my psycho ass. Okay, continue. Sorry. That remind you of what?
Reminds me of a group chat that I was in with a handful of people in this community where we all changed our names in a, I don't even know how many details I want to give on stream. I can tell you more later. But anyway, we all changed our display names to have one particular person's name that, well, many people were accused of being at some point. I'm going to keep it vague. I don't need to get more into it here, but I'll tell you more later because you might think it's funny.
That is funny. I can already tell that's funny. And you
You
guys
know the
all
Friends
changed your
cast?
names for it.
The Friends cast did
Ooh,
the same thing after Courtney Cox. Did you ever watch Friends?
yeah.
Okay, so you know
I
Courtney
mean,
Cox,
not
she
when it
plays.
was coming out. I just watched Friends later when I came out to see
Sure,
it.
sure. But so Courtney Cox is the actress who plays Monica. And when
Yeah.
she got married, she became Courtney Cox Arquette. And
Yeah.
the first time that they aired an episode after she changed from Courtney Cox to Courtney Cox Arquette, the entire cast put Arquette at the end of their name. It was Jennifer Aniston Arquette, David
That's
Schwimmer
so
Arquette,
cute.
Matthew Perry
A
Arquette.
cat. That's cute. They would too, because they feel like they really do feel like they were all like family, like brothers and sisters,
Mhm.
and just so close. Okay, Bubs, you're distracting me. She's so cute. She's my queen. She's so cute. She's getting along with her and baby get along with the kittens now. I need to get the boys fixed ASAP. They're already 6 months, and you know me, I have a house full of girls, so these boys need to get their nuts removed so the girls can just be happy without the boys' interference.
I'll get there.
She loves chewing on my fingers.
Aw.
Like just like these kitties,
So
man,
cute.
they save my life between my doggies and them. They're so much work and they're so annoying. But I love you so much. I'm like, if I can take care of them,
Nice.
then I can get my fucking GED. Okay. Even if it takes me 2 years, guys, which I feel like right now it's going to take me 2 years. So don't get upset at me if it takes that long.
No, but honestly, that would still be impressive because if you think about it, GED is is like the equivalent of a high school diploma, and high school takes 4 years. And I mean, if you count all the years of school that come before that, it's kindergarten plus 12 grades, first grade through 12th grade. So I mean, having never gone to school and then learning everything that you need to know to get a GED in 2 years, like even that is impressive. Like it's not something that anybody is to get mad at you for. Like it is a lot of content that we've got to cover. No kittens allowed.
No kittens allowed. Did you hear that, Bubba's? No babies. No more babies. I can barely take care of you guys. Okay, the same question 23 is wrong since at least 2017 because the quest is in the same thing. Oh yeah. See, Peter, you guys are too genius for the book. The book can't even keep up with your geniosity. Right, Mamas? You don't want babies. You don't want no kitties. I need to scrub you. My squishy bum bums. My squishy bum bum. She's like, yeah, just keep doing that for the rest of the day. For the rest of the day. Go away, Babaj. Okay.
So yeah, did you leave off? Did you say it was on page 243 or 245?
Where we were, 245.
245. Okay. So did you
And
already
he
read
said we were
through?
on number 20, but I think I guess I didn't write number 19, so we'll just do that together.
Okay.
Write an equal fraction with the given denominator. Okay. So I need to write an equal fraction for number 19. 405 equals
Yeah, so it says 4/5 equals blank over 60.
60. So what was that thing you were saying, Peter? Peter already showed me, but I have to remind myself.
So there's a few ways that you could solve for this. What I would do, because I know how many times 5 goes into 60, is I would just multiply the top and the bottom by the same amount, which 5 times what equals 60.
Okay. Wait, so
Like
what did you just say you would?
5, because I know, sorry, there's a few ways that you can solve it, but you could, yeah, as Peter says in the chat, you could cross multiply. That's one way that you could do this. Another way that you could do it though is if you already know how many times 5 goes into 60, you can just multiply by the numerator and denominator with that value. To talk that out, like while doing the problem, how many times does 5 go into 60?
Why am I not doing this? 5 times 5 is 25. 5 goes into 60. 30 times? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 7, 12. Oh, I got 12 at first. I just thought that was totally wrong. My head
Oh
thought
yeah.
12. That was weird. Okay.
No, that's right. That's right. So if we take 4/5 and we're multiplying by 12 over 12, since we've got the same number in the numerator and denominator, the value is not going to change, just the way that we're expressing it is. So 5 times 12 is 60, and then what's 4 times 12?
4 times 12 is 2, 4, 6, 8. This is funny. This is literally where I was like, no, I don't want to use a calculator. 48.
So it's, uh,
Oh, sorry. 4
would
times
be, yeah, so 4 times 12 equals 48. So coming back to the problem is asking us to express an equal fraction with the given denominator, where it says 4/5 equals blank over 60. We would want to put a 48 in the blank because 4/5 is equal to 48 over 60.
Okay.
Now,
What was the thing
we've
again
discussed
when you're multiplying? What is it when you're when
cross
you're making it
multiplying.
a smaller number? No, when you're making it when you're
Oh,
trying to make
reducing.
it reducing it, you
Hmm.
divide, and then when you want to expand it, you multiply. Is that right?
Um, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like if I
exactly.
want to
Like if
make
you
it a
want to,
bigger fraction, I would
hmm
multiply it, and if I want to make it a smaller, or I guess not smaller, but like
expressing it with
ex-
smaller terms, like
yeah.
expressing it with the smallest terms. Yeah, exactly. So if
Is
you've
that how
received
you
this
say that?
backwards,
Expressing it with
yeah,
its smallest terms.
yeah. So 48 over 60, if we've just received the problem backwards and it said reduce 48 over 60 to its smallest fraction, then we could do 48 over 60 divided by 12 over 12
4.
equals
Oh,
4 over 5.
5. Right. Okay.
Now what Peter said in the chat also, he said that we could cross multiply, and it's true. That's another way that we could solve for the missing value. So where we see 4 over 5 equals blank over 60, we could put a variable or just put a letter that we're solving for right here so that we have x. So 4 over 5 equals x over 60. And then if you remember going over cross multiplying, we could multiply the top left number by the bottom right number and multiply the bottom left number by the top right number. So 5 times x would just give us 5x, and 60 times 4 would be the same as 6 times 4 with a 0
120.
at the end. Um,
12. 120.
that would be 60 times
Oh,
2. What's 60 times 4?
24.
Means
Sorry,
that
cut it.
60 times
It
4
it
would
cut
be
out.
240. Oh, sorry, did it? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, okay, nice.
So 4 times. Wait. So 4 times 60. Wait. So 5. 4 times 60. 4 times 6 is 12. No, sorry, it's
No, no,
24.
no. Yes.
And then so it would be 4 times 60 would be 240.
Hmm.
And then 5 times what
5 times
equals,
x, yeah.
because why would that make it 240? I mean, I know. Okay, hold on. Let my brain just think about this. 4 is 240. Then I would have to go 5 times what equals what?
Do now is basically we're solving for x to figure out what number goes here. And so the way to do that is to multiply or divide or do whatever operations you need to do in order to end up with x equals blank. So now the next thing that I would do when we have 5x equals 240 is I would divide both sides by 5, because now that's going to have us end up with, on the left side, x equals, and then on the right side we'll have the answer to 240 divided by 5. If I just quickly solve that out here, 5 into 240, 5 goes into 2 0 times, 5 goes into 24 4 times, 4 times 5 is 20, 24 minus 20 is 4, bring down the 0, 5 goes into 40 8 times, 8 times 5 is 40, and there's no remainder. So the answer is 48. X equals 48. So then coming back up to the problem up here where we had 4 over 5 equals blank over 60, we just solved for what goes in the blank, and it is 48. So if we were dealing with trickier numbers, like if I didn't already know off the top of my head that 5 goes into 60 12 times, and it was numbers that didn't go into that weren't compatible in an easier way, then cross multiplying is the way that I would solve for that missing number. So we were just able to do it a little bit faster because we already know 5 goes into 60 12 times. If we didn't know that, then cross multiplying is another step, is another method that we can use to solve for that missing number. So did you want to review the steps in cross multiplying again?
Yeah.
Or
Or
how are you
no,
feeling?
just review this. So cross multiplying, I do 4 times 60. And then when I get
Mhm.
240, I do 5 times what equals 240.
We basically cross multiply and then set the values equal to each other. So the top left, or in this case, the way that I wrote it, the bottom left times the top right, which is here, equals the top left times the bottom right, which is here.
Okay. And it's always like that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, let's try the next one.
All
All right,
right.
so that one was 48.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Which when
So
I'm
now
looking at it, like visually, when I'm looking at 48 over 60, it does look like 4/5, you know?
okay.
Like that
Nice. That's
amount,
good
like
to hear.
48 is close to 60 and 4 5s is close to 5, you know? So it seems right.
Nice.
I just have never seen I don't know. I guess I just didn't know fractions work like this. I didn't even know
Well, and
that you
also,
multiply and divide in fractions. Like I just didn't even know that's
Mhm.
how you come up with the. I'm like, oh, so that's why it's important to know all this stuff.
And I will say that it looks like these next couple of questions that are in just this section, it looks like we won't need to cross multiply for any of these. It looks like all of these
Yeah,
are
but
going to
that
have
will come
equivalent
up.
fractions. Yeah. Uh-huh. So the next one is number 20. That's the one you're on, right?
Yes, number 20,
And that's
3
3 over
eighths
8.
and equals. So what I'm gonna do? So here I'm gonna do, and this is 40. So I do 8. I do 3 times 40, right? Well, I do 3 times
If
4 is 15,
if
150,
you wanted to cross multiply, you can solve
or
this
12.
the first way that we went over. Um, Yeah, if 12 with a 0 at the end would be 3 times 40.
Okay, but right
So
now, sorry,
do you
go.
want to practice it with the cross multi? I was just going to say, because this is one, because 8 evenly goes into 40, we can solve this without cross multiplying. But
But
if
I
you
don't
just feel
know
like you want
that.
to practice
I'm
it,
sorry.
okay,
I don't know that
okay.
8 goes into 40. Your brain knows that. Everybody in the fucking world brain knows that 8 goes into 40, but I don't.
No, that's okay. Well, I guess it's up to you. Since there's multiple ways to solve it, we can cross multiply, or if you want to just think about well, I guess it's up to you. If you also do want to just take a sec, that's cool too. But I can even solve it both ways so that we can go over it both ways if you think that'll help.
I'm just gonna
Although I
do
don't know
it
if that
till
might.
it's the way I know it, so I get it in
Okay,
my head. Okay, I
sounds
need a
good.
minute.
Okay, yeah. All right. So what I think I'll go ahead and do for right now, what we're solving is 3/8 equals blank over 40, and so that we want to figure out what the equivalent fraction is with 40. So there's two ways that we can do that. I know that 8 goes into 40 5 times. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to write out 3 over 8 times 5 over 5 equals 8 times 5 is 40. 3 times 5 is 15. And then what I can now also do, I'm going to write 3 over 8 equals x over 40, and I'll solve it by cross multiplying. 8 times x is 8x equals 40 times 3 is 120. We'll go ahead and draw to show that I'm cross multiplying. Now, I'm going to divide each side by 8. So now I'm dividing in order to find out what x is. 120 divided by 8. So let me just slide up a little bit and write 8 into 120. 8 goes into 1 0 times. 8 goes into 12 1 time. 1 times 8 is 8. 12 minus 8 is 4. Bring down the 0. 8 goes into 40 5 times. 5 times 8 is 40. 40 minus 40 is 0, so there is no remainder. So both ways that we just solved it, we got that this x is going to be 15. So the equivalent fraction, where we have 3 over 8 equals x over 40, 15 over 40 is going to be the equivalent fraction. And you got it? Oh, you're muted.
Sorry. I said I got some of that.
Gotcha.
Okay. I need to be, Kathy says I need to give little Laura grace. I'm trying. It's just hard.
No, we're
All
and
right.
so I did just solve them out. If you want, I can show you both ways to do it, or if you want
I
to,
just want to learn one way
okay, okay.
first. And I think I started with Peter with the
Cross multiplying.
cross. Yeah. Is that what it's called? Cross multiplying?
Yeah. And actually, the truth is, even though it takes some more steps, that can be used for any time. Any time that you have two fractions where you're just missing one value, you can always use cross multiplying, even if the numbers are not compatible. Like if if we were working with a number that was not 40 or a number that 8 didn't go into, we can always use cross multiplying. So you want to go ahead and
See,
start
I
by
want to know.
looking
I
at
think,
that.
yeah, I think I want to know that because then I know I can always do that. And then when I'm easy with it, which I'll be laughing at myself crying about this later, but when it's easy for me, then I won't feel this like stress of, and I feel like if I don't understand one thing, it's like, I mean, it's probably normal that everything else starts to feel confusing or not even understand it if I don't feel secure in it. Like if I don't know immediately 8 times 40, you know, one time, if I don't know to do that, and you need to slow this whole process down. Don't try to do 5 years and 15 lessons. Please give it time to resonate. Yes, ma'am. It's true. I
That might be
really
on
need to
me
do
a
that.
little bit. I might be sometimes going off on too many tangents and like trying to incorporate too
No,
many
I
other
love it.
lessons.
Well, I love it though. No, I love it because I also want to know that there's multiple ways to do something. But I think once it's like doing a cartwheel. If I know how to do it one way, then I have to have my balance. Then I know I can do it multiple different ways, left, right, whatever. But if somebody, not that you're doing this, but in my head, I'm going, he's telling you how to do it, just do it. And I'm like, but I can't. I just, I'm not doing it right or whatever. So I just repeating it is the same. So I would like to do exactly the problem you just did and let my brain, as Anne said, thank you, Anne and Kathy, for you guys' super chats, keeping me afloat. Keeping me, what do you call the side runners that cheer on the people on the marathons? The cheerer
The
honors?
fans, yeah, the cheerer honors, the fans,
My fans, I love
the
you all so
supporters, the
much.
spectators.
Watch me cry and get crazy. My tears are frustration, honestly. They're just frustration of childhood. And Yeah, I just need to be easier on myself. I'm not in a rush. I bet you there's going to be some stuff on this GED, like while we're learning, you know, in the book that I'm going to know, like really well. I'm hoping. Oh my God, can you imagine if I just didn't know anything? Ah, okay.
No, and
Okay, so
believe
can
me,
I
when
do
I was
this
growing
one?
up going to school, I was just gonna say really quick, like when I was
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
school, I can remember many times that I was sitting at home doing homework, not getting it, crying, trying to get help, still being frustrated. Like all of this, these are normal things to go through in school. And I mean, I ultimately ended up being an English major because at a certain point, I tried calculus for a few weeks and that was just so hard for me. It stressed me out so much. I mean, this is
I
this
can't
is
even
this is hard
imagine
stuff and
like
we're
if
going through a lot
you're
of it all at
getting
once.
if you get frustrated or stressed out about something, like wow. So if that's true, if you cried and all that when you went home, it's just like none, like who helped you when you went home? Your parents? Who? Your mom is like freaking amazing math. Like, see, it's just so triggering. And when you don't have like that real close love, here it goes again. Wah! When you don't have that like close, deep, unconditional, like freaking normal biological love, makes learning really hard. It makes it feel like, why? What's the point? Do I need to really stress my brain over this GED test? Like, and and I have to remember it's not stress. I'm actually learning, and I do like it. And I love you all in the chat. Thank you. Thank you for watching me be so embarrassed going through all this fucking shit. I'm not even that
How proud of
embarrassed.
you.
I'm more frustrated than embarrassed. I don't embarrassed schmares. That's the whole reason I did this online, so that I would have to hold myself to it. And here I am. And
No,
part of it is crying. Sorry, you guys. I should
no,
have
I'm
warned
proud
you.
of you. We've already gone through a lot. I mean, I know I haven't been in every session because I was at camp for a week, but I mean, this is part 15, and I feel like each session has been like an average of 2 hours, which we're already coming up on here. Like that's a lot of hours that we've already put into this, and a lot that you have already learned in all of that time. I mean, before we started, I don't think you were really familiar much at all with long division. Like, wasn't long division
No,
pretty
no,
new
I
to you when we
remember
first went through
running.
it?
Yeah, I remember looking at like Darren Bolstad. Darren Bolstad is funny because I saw him when I was protesting, and he was like, "Wow, Megan, you've really come a long way." But he was still smiling, like we were still like he still liked me, like we're still buddies. I don't know. Anyways, like weird, like we're childhood buddies, but in this cult. Anyways, and then but I remember it. I always like admired him because he was so smart. Like, and then when I saw him getting frustrated, I saw him like really like just like not getting something, or he was just like, and he just broke down. That made me feel so bad. Even as a child slave, I was like feeling bad that this like genius like at math, he was just like so good at like, and then I don't know, something was bugging him, and I could tell that the teacher, the non-teacher, the Sea Org teacher, was knowing that she had to really give him this time, but she couldn't. Like she was like, "Okay, hold on, 1 second," and he was always like, like I can't imagine. That's me looking at another cadet in the cult of Scientology. I can't imagine what was happening and not happening with me, and so many, not just me, but other kids and cadets who just have so much struggle, and then not having your biological parents or only seeing them for 2 hours on a Sunday if you made your targets and they made their work targets. It's like so upsetting when you're going to school knowing you had this difficulties, and that this is learning can be super difficult. Numbers can be very exhausting. Like it's exhausting on the body. It feels fucking exhausting. So I don't know. I really thank you, and I thank your mom for like helping you and having patience, and being so smart. I don't know why I'm so emotional. Ah!
Okay. No, we can take it. We can take breaks as needed. And I mean, you were even kind of talking about that at the beginning that you
Yeah,
realize like sometimes it does help to just kind of take a break and let it marinate. And I mean, we're already going close to 2 hours here. So I'm
I
not sure
know,
how you're
but we
feeling if
spent
you
a
want to
lot
try
of
and finish the
time.
page.
We spent a lot of time just trying to understand. Oh my. Cute. My little Peter reminds me it's okay. Here, go lay with your brother. Both are sleeping. Yeah, this is very triggering. Sorry, we need to get back to class. No, I think we just spent a lot of time on trying to figure out the zero things, and so and not and that feels I feel better about that a little bit. Just
Nice.
kidding. So maybe we can finish. Maybe we can finish this page. Yeah, why don't we finish
Okay.
this page 245, and then I can marinate on
good.
everything.
Sounds like a plan.
Is that
All
too
right,
hard,
so-
guys? Okay.
So
Oh my
you're looking
God.
at number 20.
Wait, hold on. Peter gave me a funny question. Laura, my sister has 39 kids to teach English in a 120-minute period. How many minutes can my sister spend with each student? So for reals, what? What are you thinking about, Jacob?
Well, I mean, if it feels like the way that the question is framed, it's assuming that he can only work one-on-one with each student. Like, really, if you're teaching a whole class and there's
Oh,
39
so now
kids and
you're
it's a
pulling a
120-minute
Peter. You're
period,
pulling a Peter on his own question about his
a little
question
bit.
on number about the nuts and the bags.
Well, but you see what I mean? You see what I mean? Like, ultimately,
Well,
that
what's
means if you're
39
a good
basically?
teacher,
I would just divide 39 into 120, right? But if
39
you're a good
into
teacher like
120.
Jacob and you can do 10 kids at one or 30 or whatever the amount is. So I don't know, Peter,
Yeah.
you're really going to have to make this question more answerable. Just kidding. Clarify your question. Can
Although
your
also, if he
sister
really
handle,
does,
can your sister deal with 5 kids or is it one-on-one? But anyways, no, if I was going to, so for reals though, I would divide 39 into 120, right?
and yeah, you could say that. You could say that as either 120 divided by 39 or 39 into 120. And you said
Oh, okay.
39 into 120, which is right. But yeah, that's assuming that he's just talking about how much time can he spend one-on-one with each student. Then yeah, it would be assuming that he's spending the same amount of time one-on-one with each student. I mean,
But I
you see
would
where I'm coming from? Where like
totally. And if we were doing one-on-one and I'm just looking at it as Peter's favorite thing is just round it up to do the math easier, I would just put 40, I would just divide 40 into 120,
oh,
like 4 into
that would
12.
give you an estimate. Yeah. So that could help you figure out like
So I would say
about what it
a
should be.
roughly they would get 3 minutes or around, yeah.
Exactly.
Anyways,
That
okay,
is right.
back to the real problems of the GED, even though that is a real problem. I mean, I don't know if it's a real problem, but that would be a real world problem if I had to figure it out. How much minutes does each kid get? So at the ranch, if you have 40 kids in one class and one teacher and only 2.5 hours to learn your whole GED, you're never getting it. That's
Dang.
minus would probably be 0.000003. Okay, cool. Okay, so let's do, what were we doing? Oh yeah, number 20. Oh my goodness.
Number, yeah.
Okay, so can we just do that together? I know you just did the whole thing
Yeah.
when I was blowing my
So
nose.
you wanna look at it using the cross multiplying method?
Correct. Excellent. 39 ninth graders will own, wait, with only 120 minutes. Sorry. Yeah. Have you worked with 9th graders lately, folks? Damn, that is kind of, yeah. So you would literally get no time. Okay. Okay. So, yeah. Can we go back to this one? Can you just go over this again? So always I want to do 3/8 and I want to get whatever it is. So I'm going to multiply. I'm going to do cross. Is that what's called cross multiplying?
Cross. Yeah, that's right.
And I'm going to do 3 times 40. 8, 9,
That's
10,
right.
11, 12, which is 120.
Mhm.
So then I do 8 times 40.
8 times x, or 8 times that missing value that we're searching for. So you can write
Oh,
another
wait,
letter.
so, but I could do, but could I do 8? So does 120 have to be the same number that I get for the 8 for the,
So when we cross multiply, what we're doing is we're setting our products equal to each other. So that top left times the bottom right equals the bottom left times the top right. So because one of those values is unknown, what you'll want to do is just represent it with a variable, or which means like a letter. So X is a pretty common letter that you'll see in math when people are just having a letter stand for a missing number. X is a pretty common one. So since that's what we're doing, we're trying to figure out which number goes here to make these fractions equal. So we've got 3/8 equals blank over 40. So for that blank, I've got that as X, and now I'm solving for X to figure out what goes there. So 3 times 40 is 120. We're setting that equal to 8 times X, which for now we'll just write as 8X.
so
Up
that's
to
what I'm
this step,
saying.
we've got 8X equals 120.
So I'm saying
Wait.
8 times what makes 120? That's what I'm looking for.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay,
So
so
then the next step is to divide both sides of the equation by 8. So 8x divided by 8, that becomes just x.
wait,
That
wait, wait.
8's basically cancel. Yeah,
I think this
yeah,
is,
sorry.
I'm getting a little too far ahead here. I was just
Okay, okay.
comprehending the multiplication aspect of it first. So 3
Gotcha,
times
gotcha.
40 is 120. So I know now that 8 times something equals 120. Is that so what I feel
Mhm.
like I need to figure that out right now.
Yeah.
So
hmm
by doing that, I would just I would do well 8 times 8 is 48, right?
8 times 8 is 64.
56, 50 fucking see this why I need to do my flashcards. Anyways, whatever. Okay, 8 times would make 120. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So wait, 8 times what did we say? 8 times 8 is 54 or 64? 64. Your thing's a little slow, so I had to like read your lips. Okay. And then it like cuts out sometimes. 8. Okay, well, I can't read everything right now. Okay. So is 64. Okay. So maybe 8. Well, 8 times 9 is 82. You see how I'm trying to like make it work in my brain so I learn how to do this faster.
Yeah.
8 times 9. So it's gonna be like 12 times or
But you're close.
hold on. Andy, I'm doing schooling. I'll call you when I'm done in a little bit. Okay, bye. Sorry, what was I doing? See, okay, 8, yeah, 8 into 120 would be the
Yeah,
x. So
exactly. Yeah.
what's 8 times 120? Or sorry, 8
We want to
divided by
do to solve for the
8
x.
into.
Or yeah. So 120 divided by 8. I wrote that out as a long division problem over here. Do you want to try it by yourself?
Oh, okay,
120 divided by 8?
that's what you were doing. Okay,
Yeah,
120.
yeah.
Yeah, divided by 8. So 8 doesn't go into 1. 8 goes in 12 one time. 8 times 1 is
Good.
8. Then uh then 8 minus 12. I mean 8, yeah. So 4, and then I bring down the 0, and then 8 goes into 40 5 times. And then I put the 5 up here. 8 times 5 is 40. Okay, so 15.
That's mhm.
All right, so
Putting
then
that
I,
in.
okay, sorry. Yeah,
So now that we know that the x equals 15, we just need to plug that back in to our answer, where the original question was written as 3 over 8 equals blank over 40. And we were solving for that value right here, and we got 15. So that's our equivalent fraction, is 15 over 40.
ooh, okay. Okay, well, I feel much better about how to do all this now. But okay, not now. I still need to keep it. Okay, so 15. And then, yeah, that seems right. 15 over 40 looks like a, what did he say? Peter said you're either,
It's a little bit less than a half because 4/8, like 4 over 8, would be the same as
re-
1/2. Like 4 is a half
reduce
of
or
8.
simplify.
So yeah, so
Simplify?
if we were to receive 15 over 40, we could simplify that to 3 over 8.
Yeah,
If I get too into exactly what that looks like, it might make it more confusing,
yeah.
but
Okay,
yeah, these
so,
fractions are
but
equal.
it's to reduce flashcards for repetition. You can do it. Yeah, exactly. Okay, okay, so let's do 21.
All right.
Okay,
Number
6.
21,
So
6
6
over 25.
over 25 equals uh, x over 100.
Good.
Then we do 6 times 100 is 600.
Mm-hmm.
And then 25 goes into 600. Uh,
And I would go ahead and write at this step, since we've got x representing the missing value, I would go ahead and write 25x on one side of the equation, since the way that when we cross multiply, since we set the products equal to each other, I would go ahead and express 25 times x as 25x. Did that make sense?
no,
So when we have a number right before a letter or a variable, that means times. Like 25x means 3 times x. So if or that was stupid. I misspoke. 25x means 25 times x. Like if we were looking at a just simpler problem with smaller numbers and I had 3x equals 12, that means 3 times x is 12. So what times 3 is 12? The answer would be 4. Um Anyway, when we have a number, the main point, without getting too confusing with other problems, the main point is that when we have a number appearing in front of a variable, that means that we're multiplying that number by the variable or by the missing value. So when we're setting the products after cross multiplying, if we're setting the products equal to each other, that means that on one side of the equation, we have 6 times 100, which is 600. On the other side of the equation, we have 25 times x, which for now we can just write as 25x. So I don't know if that helps. How did that feel? Is it still a
the
little
x
tricky?
is confusing to me because I want to do 25 into 600.
That's exactly what you want to do. So yeah, then that's the next step. The next step is divide both sides by 25. Or sorry, one sec. I should be writing in pencil so that if I make a mistake, then I don't. Anyway, 25 x equals 600. Next step, divide both sides by 25. So 600 divided by 25, or 25 into 600, is exactly what you just said. And looking back at the last problem, that's the same thing that we did in the last problem. Last problem, we had 3 over 8 equals x over 40. So we cross multiplied, 8x equals 120. And then we divided both sides by 8. 120 divided by 8 gave us 15. I feel like I hear you when you're saying that x is making it confusing. With cross multiplying, I guess if it helps you, if you just know kind of in your head what the next step is, that after you cross multiply, then the next thing you're going to do is divide. And you know which number to divide, and it's more helpful to think of it without the x, then you can do that. I guess I'm partly just writing out like how I think of the problem when I am cross multiplying with a missing value.
Well, I feel like I would do how, yeah, 6 times 100 is 600. And then my immediate thing would be, since I already have this 25, how many times, if it's going to be the same, how many times does 25 go into 600?
Exactly. So how many times does 25 go into 600? We'll do that, and that you can do with long division. You want to go ahead and go there?
Yeah, so I'm ready now. 25 goes into 600. I mean, I could probably just figure it out. Just 4 times 6 is 24. So 20. Okay, sorry. So what would you do? You just say 25 doesn't go into 6?
Yeah, I put a 0 for 6. And so
and
then I would
then
look
do
at 25 goes into 60. How many times does 25 go into 60?
1. Oh, sorry, 2.
Good,
25
2.
times 2
Put the
is
2.
50.
Good.
And then that's 10. And bring down the 100. 25 goes into 100. Oh, I was right. 25. Okay, and then 25 times 4 is 100. So that's 24. So 25 goes into 624 times. And so
Good.
it would be 24 over 100.
24 over 100. Very good. The 6 over 25 equals 24 over 100. Awesome.
Happy. Leave the X out. Okay,
Yeah,
Anne
it's tricky
says,
sometimes when
time to stop and absorb, lady, after 21 hours. Yeah, so 21, 20, that was 21. I think we should just chill there and absorb. I need to absorb. Even with breaks doesn't allow you to learn very easily. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, we are
so
a little over 2 hours now. So do you want to go ahead and call it there for right now, and then pick up at number 22 next time?
yeah,
That's tomorrow, or okay,
yeah,
that sounds
perfect.
good. How has the week been for you otherwise? It's I know we've
Just
texted a
wild.
little bit here and there, but do you want to pull my paper down for a sec, and then I'll just switch my mic over to the computer?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I didn't even write my answer down. What did I get? 24?
How's my one sec?
24.
How is my audio?
It's good. It's just
Okay.
It's a little louder, but it's good. It's just because you're like really close.
Gotcha.
Okay, wait. What was the last problem we just did? Oh, 6 over 25 also is
We just did number 21. So yeah, 6 over 25 equals 24 over 100.
24 over 100. Okay, good. Okay, good. We'll take a break there. But yeah, what did you? Oh, and it says hint for question. Oh, that's for 17. Oh, 17. 4 times question mark equals 16. Exactly. They should put that hint at the beginning after we've already suffered through it all.
I like your shirt. I don't know if I've seen that one before. Is this suppressive person with
Yeah.
is that the
It's the F sign. It's Dan Walks
Oh.
LA's. And then on the back it says Scientology's a cult. And I just wear it both ways because it looks the same. Get out of his butt. Look at how effing cute these are. Like, what? What do you do with these creatures who just hang out with you? Little Pinta, little Tiki.
It's funny, the cross on that one almost looks more like a Christian cross than the 8-pointed Scientology cross. Does it have, or is it just broken?
It's a mimic of the volunteer minister shirt. And
Oh,
so they
okay.
have this bullshit cross on there, and it's like such. But yeah, you know, Dan Walks tweaked it a bit, so it looks like a volunteer.
Nice.
That's why, like at the
Heather Max
IES
says I get a
event,
B today. Wasn't on my A game, I guess. Oh, okay.
I was like, he does not get a B. He gets a plus A. Always. Everybody gets a plus A when working with me. So I
love
think
it.
Anne was saying, oh, hi, Anne, so cute. Love that chick. I think Anne was saying that to use B or an N instead of X so that I didn't get confused with the multiplying. But yeah, I think I've gotten over that.
Oh, is that why? Yeah, because X can also mean multiplication. So I see what you mean. Yeah, you can. And as we get into more like geometry, like there's other kinds of problems where different letters will mean different things. Y equals mx plus b, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. We don't even need to worry about it yet. We'll get there when we get there. But no, yeah, I think that X tends to be my go-to letter that I'll use if I have a missing value that I'm solving for. But I do get that it can also be confusing because people are used to X being times. Did you want to answer the question that was just up about what age most kids leave school in Scientology?
They don't even in Scientology, they don't care about your education. They care about you clearing a planet, getting on the bridge to total freedom, all of that. So education like is not a priority to them. And not only that, like they always say, oh, the schools are teaching false information. L. Ron Hubbard has so even when you are learning, you're just not really, you're like, oh, but that's like the WOG world, you know. You know,
Well, then the answer here is
And
also,
so-
I'm sure, different. Sorry.
I was going to
Go ahead.
say when they were just at like at the Int Ranch where I was, I can answer for myself. They had us doing some of the books or math books that we, you know, should have been on or were behind on or whatever. But they were just making it so that we learned to get the GED so that we could go join the Sea Org at Gold Base, or we wait until we were 18 and then they would say, you're done, no more school. So they were just waiting for us to turn 18 or to get the GED. It wasn't about learning. It wasn't like, I'm sure they needed us to have basics and stuff, but you know, that's Scientology. They don't care. They want you to learn what they want you to learn and nothing else.
I feel like I should know this, but what age were you when you left the Sea Org?
When I left the Sea Org,
Yeah.
just before I was like 18.
Okay, gotcha. So
But that doesn't have, I was in the Sea Org in Clearwater and we were supposed to be doing school all day on either a Sunday or Saturday. And that just like barely ever happened. And when it did happen, it became like our free time. We called it like, it was almost like, oh, good, we got to go to school and slack off. And we would be doing our schooling at like the dorm berthing. Like they had one of the dorms converted into like classrooms where the cadets used, like where the actual cadets of like the Clearwater cadets were also using these course rooms. So it's all done internal. There's no outside schooling and there's no like, other than them wanting to get your GED, that's it. They're not like waiting for you to go to college. They're not like, none of that is happening. So yeah, there's no time that people leave school in Scientology because they never actually are going to an actual school anyways to begin with. And they're not getting educated by actual people who have the credentials and longevity and the actual mental health skills to deal with kids in Scientology because they don't even believe or react to people with mental issues. They don't believe in all that. So it's all different. It's all just gross. It's not education. It's a fake, it's a fraud way of them saying that they're teaching the kids.
gosh. Yeah, that's wild.
In case like some outside person came in, if they got on the property without the whole world being notified, because the Indians would let the ranch in charge, the adult in charge, Dan Probilski, know. And so by that time, we would know when child services or anybody was coming onto the property, and we'd all be ready and looking nice and perfect and pretending we were like, they would sometimes just have us run to the schoolhouse and just be in the school while these people were doing like a tour of the property. Really, they were doing inspections. And then
so do you have memories of CPS like coming in to make
I didn't
sure
know
that
they
you guys were
I didn't
doing
know they were CPS because we didn't know anything about the outside world. I guess I could close this.
sure, yeah.
But we knew that they were possible antagonistic people or people that heard negative bad PR about Scientology, and we were there to fix that. And so, yeah, we were all trained on what to tell them and how to talk to them. And some people would be like, you're staying over there in the Campbell house away from everybody so that they don't even talk to you at all.
Gosh,
Yeah.
that's wild. Man, I can't even imagine. That's such a different way to grow up. I mean, did you feel like during that time, I guess you hadn't been exposed to anything else, but did you pretty devoutly believe in Scientology at that time? Like when it came to like,
There's nothing like to use the word believe is an insult to L. Ron Hubbard's technology. There's no believing. This is the only way. Exactly. Scientologists know everything because they're above it all. They're spiritually, that's what they think. They literally, it's like brainwashing. It's no longer a belief. They actually act and treat and lie and smile while they're like stabbing somebody in their back.
So like, do you feel like you had a pretty strong sense of purpose as a kid? Like, do you feel like you felt like you were doing a really important job by being in the Sea Org? And like, is that like you had a strong sense of purpose? Like, is that, because I've heard other ex-Scientologists kind of talk back on their experience, talking about what a strong sense of purpose that they had because they felt like they knew that they were doing the most important job in the world. I don't know if this is a loaded question, but I'm just curious if you kind of felt that.
I don't think I had the whole big loaded purpose thing at the Int Ranch. I just wanted my purpose, my only allowed purpose was to go to Gold Base and be a part of the Golden Era musicians. I always knew that I wanted to sing and there would be these moments, weird moments. I've talked about this in some of my early streams when I first started, but I would have like these visions of like singing to all these people. And I would just be staring at the asphalt on the road, like taking weeds out and all the little bumps in the asphalt. I just imagined in my head, they were all heads. Like I was at some big concert, which I had never been at a concert more. Like I'd never been at my whole life. I was never at a concert. It was always Scientology stuff. So I've never been in an auditorium other than a Scientology event where there would be so many heads like that. And so when I was thinking this, I think my purpose, my thing was always to be singing and be an entertainer for Scientology. Like I was going to be in the sea, kind of like the Jive Aces. And then I was thinking, oh, that's so selfish of me because I could be doing a way harder post, a position than having fun being a full-time, musician, Scientology Sea Org member. I don't know if people know, but the Jive Aces have all signed their Sea Org contracts and they're all technical, like they're all Sea Org. They pretend that they're just Scientologists, but no, they're absolutely signed a billion-year contract, all of them.
Wow. I don't know if I realized that there was another full band that joined the Sea Org like that. Because that was the same thing that happened to People, right? Jeff Levin's.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Totally.
I don't know if I was familiar with the Jive Aces. Like, do they release music and tour, or were they just older? Oh wow,
Ozzy! I believe in you. Thank you.
Way to come through, Aussie.io.
Now I really need to go I'm going to go to the dollar store. Yes. Thank you, Kathy. She's so cute. Anne said, put my workbooks and all that on my, Amazon wish list, but I need to like figure out my Amazon wish list too, because I don't think it's like publicly active or open. I don't know, because definitely nobody's gotten anything off of there, but I don't think I have it set where it's public or something. I don't know. But I also would rather go to the dollar store because I have seen them and they're close, and there's some close by here where I can just buy like 10 of them and just go at it, like almost like flashcards, but in the kids' books. For me, even doing smaller problems over and over again makes me better at math. Even doing 3 + 3 + 8, like even doing that a bunch makes me better at 300 divided by whatever, like.
Mm-hmm.
So so I love, thank you, Ozzy Oi. I love you guys so much. You guys are so sweet. I'm gonna go get little booklets and all that, and then and also just time to marinate and don't be so amazing. And who's the lady who stands in front of the crowds and sings for them today? Aw, no
Not
little
little
Davy,
Davy.
but Laura.
Can David Miscavige sing? Has anybody ever heard him sing? Do you know?
No, he's so egotistical. He probably wouldn't even dare sing in front of anybody because he wouldn't want them to know that he sucks. Like, he's just not a nice person. He doesn't sit there. He wouldn't sit there be singing. Like, oh, Dave Miscavige is clearing a planet. He doesn't have time to hum or sing. Like, he's just like, oh, it's way beyond him. But really, it's just because he can't do it. He's probably not that great at it. He's
You
too
know
tiny.
who I have heard? He's too tiny. You can't hear him. Well, I know he's famous for screaming. So
Yeah, but that's because he's always yelling. Because he's so
Mhm.
small, he needs to overcome this.
But you know who I have heard sing is his dad, Ron Miscavige. When he was still alive, I heard him sing sometimes on sorry, I'm getting all these texts making a
Yeah,
bunch
I
of
was
noise
like,
over here.
Jacob, you are ruining my show. Just kidding.
What I was gonna say, I've heard back when Ron Miscavige was still alive, I heard him sing, and he actually had a good voice. But I know that he did actually work in the musical department at Gold, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So I
I
don't know if
always
that.
knew Ron Miscavige, Ron, Miscavige as definitely, yeah, the burp, 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 and the always being like a head kind of in the Golden Era musician. Same with Peter Slesh.
Okay.
Yeah, he had a gray beard. He was, I literally wrote to Peter being like, what can I do? Is there any way? I wrote a petition, I think, one time to COB or somebody, begging to not do my GED, not do my school studies, and just go straight to Gold and start being a SEERG member. I was like, I don't need to do all this schooling. So,
Well, and look at you
anyways,
now.
and
Now
it
you're
was just
getting back to
weird.
it.
You say like, what was your purpose? What was like, no, we weren't thinking planetary. The ego was already built into us. The ego was already built into, you are a cadet, and you being born in as your mom and dad's daughter, me, is already, you already knew, I chose to have my parents be my mom and dad. I chose to come into this life to not repeat the same lifetime trap that everybody. So I felt at the ranch, even if I was in trouble, even if I was this, I felt, well, what else are they going to do with me? They have to keep me here because I'm good at doing all this other shit, which is like physical labor. And I already knew so much about, obviously, ethics books and all of L. Ron Hubbard's garbage that, and to be real, I was born born and raised in the Sea Org, no matter if it was LA for my first years and then here. So I just, as a child, know very much the ins and outs of the internal. So they don't want me to learn the outs, because if I know the outside world, I'll know what they're doing wrong, what's not okay, what's abuse, what is legal, what's not legal. Like, how much schooling were we supposed to be getting? I would have reported it to CPS or whoever it was. If they had asked me, I'd be like, well, I probably would have said, yeah, they told us to say 8, but really we only get like 2 hours. Like, that's the stuff that they wouldn't have known, but we were trained to literally lie. And it was because getting education wasn't important. So imagine education is that way. Imagine how we thought about beliefs, about other people's beliefs, about other people's native, what do you call that? Biological, whether there was like, we also grew up on native Indian property. So I just thought the outside world was kind of like full of all these native Indians. We just knew nothing outside of Gold Base and about outside of that. Anyway, so.
Hi, Nora. I see Nora's in the chat.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, guys. I've just been on. It's like right when I get in my childhood, I'm like, can't even. Hi, Nora. Nora, question for Nora. Do you like math? Do you like doing all this stuff that I'm doing? was there ever a point you did not like it and then you started to love it? Did it ever make you want to cry and run and scream and have a tantrum and run out the door like I did already like 5 times? Or were you just born and you were like, huh, I like reading. I like all this stuff. Because I just missed out on that. And I'm hoping I'll start to really enjoy it.
I'd be curious to hear that. And then I'd also be curious to know, I feel like I've heard Nora talk about, oh, my bad, dropped my phone. I'd be curious to, I
Also,
do know.
this is funny. And
Said
said you may
but
have
that's a refund in that policy. I'm curious to know, Nora, how far you made it in school. If you did graduate from high school, or if you joined the Sea Org as a teenager before graduating, because I do think, if I'm not mistaken, Nora, I think you did go to public school. My kids are really good at math, so at least they got that passion. That's good. That's good. Looks like Nora said she used
Any
to
other
love math.
beliefs?
She was so good at it. Then geometry broke
Okay.
her brain. Oh, and then she
I
also
just wanted
says
to
here,
read you this. Yeah. Any
Yeah,
other
yeah.
beliefs were other practices. That was it would be out of balance, other fish to fry, other practices. That's out of balance. That's other practices. That's squirrel. What are you doing? But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. Yeah.
Oh, and then Nora, nice.
Aw.
No, that was essentially my understanding of how Scientology trains its members to look at the outside world. And then it looks like Nora did just say in the chat, graduated public school in 1994, go Panthers, did some college courses. Got it. Okay, right on.
That's cool. Go Panthers. So the geometry broke you? What do you mean? Like broke you like it gave you a nervous breakdown and you had tears in your eyes sometimes? And did you have somebody to run home and get help with this? Just asking. Run home.
No,
I'm
yeah,
like,
geometry.
well, for me, it was the schoolhouse and Gold Base. 15-minute run in the creek.
There's some weird stuff in geometry. I mean, I'm sure we'll get to geometry. I can't remember off the top of my head which chapter that is in the GED prep book, but there will be times that we'll have to like write out proofs and we'll have to understand like theorems of how triangles work and prove what measurement a certain angle is, prove that a shape is the shape that it looks like. Some of that could be tough for me too. Not to overwhelm you now. I know we went through a lot today,
but to me, for some reason, geometry, I don't know, seems probably a lot easier than. But also, isn't there a lot of math in geometry?
Oh, geometry is a branch of math. So
okay, yeah,
absolutely.
Okay. So that's why I want to get really good at everything else. So I'm not overwhelmed just when I'm understanding a problem. I'm like, oh, this is a fucking huge problem.
No,
like, I just finally I understand the problem, and okay, this is too much.
I just looked at the table of contents, and geometry is chapter 7. So we finished chapter 1, and then we were just looking at chapter 2, lesson 2, and chapter 2, lesson 3. When we eventually get to chapter 7, that'll be where we get more into geometry.
Yeah.
But as Kathy says, but Laura, you need to practice the basics first. Yeah. So we're taking it one lesson at a time. We'll get there.
100%. So tomorrow is
Tuesday, the 11th.
Tuesday.
I do have some plans in basically around this time. I think 4:30 tomorrow. I'm going to meet up with some friends. So if you wanted to do an earlier,
we can do like 10:10, or I was going to say, or we could do early morning if you want. Or are you not a morning person?
I could be. With 10:10 would work. Also,
or we could do
today
12,
we did
2:22, 1:11.
Yeah, either of those would probably be good.
I just think of an hour or two tops is, and even with little breaks, maybe in between, like not breaks, but like doing how we did where you're able to like draw out a whole thing just so it's that super clear for me.
Totally.
Plus, again, I can always, when we do it like this, I can always rewind literally this episode. And if there's something that was confusing, I can literally hear you say it like 10 times. And then I'm like, oh, okay, I got it. Totally. Once I get it, I get it. But when I don't get it, I easily can get frustrated, and I hate being frustrated. I want to like always be flowing and learning and like knowing I'm going on, I'm like getting it. And so when I'm not getting something, I'm like, everybody stop the whole line. I need to know what is happening right now. Yeah. So yeah.
No, but yeah, we can take breaks. We can pause as much as we need. We want to see you be successful. We're all proud of you.
Okay, cool. So let me just think. So you said you're going to be doing something around this time. So we should
Around
probably
4:30. At 4:30,
so we
I
should
have
be
plans.
ending. We should do it 2 hours before 4.
Yeah, so I'd say if you want to start at
Give
a
us
time
2.
that's
Yeah,
the number like 111, 12, 12,
111.
11.
I was thinking like 12, 12 or
111 would
111.
probably be the latest that I'd be
Okay,
able to
let's do
start.
12, 12. How about that?
Sure. That sounds
12,
good.
12? Cool. 12, 12 tomorrow. Lunchtime study, and I'm going to talk to my friend and see if I can swing over to the dollar store literally today and just get a bunch of these books.
Nice. That'd be
Thank you
awesome.
guys. I love you guys so much. Ozzy, Oi, Anne, Kathy. Aw, Joanne.
Peter and Nora.
Nora, of course, Nora. No, Nora. Me and Nora will never not like each other. Me and Nora are fucking, slaves from a cult, but together. Like, there's no way. And I see her healing, my healing. She can hear and feel and see when I have triggers, where it comes from. She's literally like, no, there's nothing that's gonna. I've been annoyed at Nora several times and vice versa. We both had very valid reasons for it. So we are learning, and there's nothing that hasn't. Anyways, I just love you, Nora. Just saying. Just saying. We're cult sisters.
There you go.
Okay. And thank you, Jacob, so freaking much. And
Of
hopefully you
course.
guys will all be here in the chat to support me again tomorrow, because it really does help having you guys in the chat. I swear to fucking God, it's easy to end a live stream when there's only 5 people in there and I'm frustrated. And when there's 25 or 30 or 50, it's a lot harder, especially when everybody's there, like, cheering me on, giving me little tips, giving Jacob tips. Don't put the X in there yet. Let her figure it out. Just it's really supportive. And I just thank you. Love you guys so much.
Heck yeah.
And it's totally okay to get upset. Fucking right. We all do that.
Mhm.
Exactly. So I just wanted that to be known. If you're ever struggling with studying and GED or anything, let it be known that's absolutely normal.
Totally.
I have not now met anybody that hasn't said, oh, this was horrible for me. Oh, algebra or, writing, or there was always something that literally caused major trauma sometimes in child's brains just trying to learn this stuff. So yes, cramping it in.
If you have 12 years of math instruction, almost guaranteed at least 1 or 2 lessons along the way are going to be frustrating for you.
100%.
And if we're trying to cram 12 years of math instruction into a couple of years or however long we spend, no, I totally get it. It's totally valid.
Yeah, exactly. And so I just have to remember that. And I have to, like Kathy said, Laura, be kinder to your little Laura. I'm like, oh yeah, I just sometimes remember, oh, this is where this frustration is coming from. So I just really appreciate you guys. I wouldn't be doing this without you. Let me tell you that. Let me tell you that. I wouldn't be doing this without you guys. So fucking thank you so much. And we'll keep it moving. And I'll see you guys all at 12:12 tomorrow.
Sounds like a plan. I'll see you then.
Thank you, Jacob.
Thanks,
You're the
everybody.
best. Love ya.
Love ya.
Love ya. Here we go.
All I know is I just keep on loving, just loving and learning with you. I'll keep on learning and loving, learning and loving, learning and loving with you. I'm learning with you, I'm learning, I'm loving, learning and loving with you.
You got me learning. I love you all. We love